Yes, people, and welcome. Bro, what's going on? Man's got a different background than that. Oi, like my office. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Spurs Kings TV. We're here for another edition of Rivals. Let's get straight to it. I want to see the Prem. I want to see it now, but I've got a Man City boy here. Mike C, what are you telling me, bro? Fresh off of Man City versus Celtic. What's good? What's good?
I know you men want to draw us out. I'm also quite pissed off as well. I usually have a Manchester City background, but I had to do that for today because this is how I feel inside, bro. It's a bit melancholy, the vibes, bro. Table for one, cinema ticket for one. It's kind of sad, to be honest, bro. Can't be Celtic farmers. Yeah, I'm embarrassed, bro. Simple.
Bro, don't worry, man. It's only Celtic, bro. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone.
We'll let it with Matthew.
Hey, Chixie. Hey, what's
Yo,
hey,
what's cracking? You good?
Sorry to interrupt you, man. Yeah, man's blessed.
No, no worries, man. I was just cussing both of you to someone else still. I'm joking.
You piece of shit.
What's good, man? I'm on the enemy territory, but you lot make me feel so welcome, man. Big up you lot, big up the chat. And as those professionals say, smash that like button, like and subscribe.
We've got a debut in Harry Scarr. How are you doing, my bro? You good?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Looking forward to getting into it, and I can't wait, like us all, to get up and running with the Premier League season.
Yeah, man, I'm waiting for it, man. I'm itching right now. I want to see Prem football. It's been too long. But yeah, man, we've also got a regular in Stefan. How you doing, my friend?
What's up? What's up, guys? Hello, everybody. Looking forward to it, and I just want to say, Mike's, I'm really sorry. It must be really tough losing to Celtic in preseason. Such an important game.
Started it off already.
Yeah, such a big game.
Thank you for your condolences. I'm sure you know my team isn't really good when games don't mean nothing. I'm sure you know this as to why you won your dinner plate last season that you shouldn't have been in. This is what usually happens, bro. Early season, it's not our bag,
No, that's true, Mike's. But you know what? At least that dinner plate doesn't have 115 financial charges with it. So,
Mike, give me the pleasure, please. Give me the pleasure, please. Mike's have responded. How many Champions League?
I'll swing the baton.
How many Champions? How many Champions Leagues do you have, Steph?
Okay.
Listen. We're gonna bring out another guest too. Hey, sorry about that too. Hey, what's going on? It's all shaven and clean.
What is the fuck is this guy?
You go for winning, huh? What's going on?
Hey, evening, all good to be here on the panel. Always a blessing to be here. Good to see Mr. Scarf here. Chinks, good to see you, Steph. Mike's, you don't know what suffering is if you're in darkness after a pre-season game. Try relegation. How about that? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you guys. Always a blessing to be on here. Like and subscribe.
What's that man saying tune? You know when he says, you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Bane.
Oh, that's Bane. Oh, man, hit me with the Bane. He baned me, bro. Jesus Christ.
Oh, so you like the dark? You only adopted it.
That sounded a bit creepy there. You like the dark. That sounded crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit melancholy.
Come on, lads.
That's my new word, bro.
We got Harry here, man. He's young and fresh. Let's behave today. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, young and fresh.
That's crazy. Young and fresh is crazy.
I'm gonna start off with Arsenal because you man have got a new signing, no? I'm hearing in the grapevine you got a certain, like some people call him California, the California kid. California. OC, yeah? Or hey, what are you telling me, guys? California, are you excited? Is he the signing that you guys were craving for? Is it something that you guys needed? Is he also better than Euro? Because obviously Euro's coming. Man United fans are hyped. But what are you saying about California? What do you think? Are you happy to sign?
I'll tell you one thing, is way better looking, but I'll pass over to my European correspondent, aka Steph.
You're on a roll, bro. Young and
guy
looking like you're on the wrong channel today, bro.
Hey guys, watch out though. His girlfriend is serial killer / stalker material. So yeah, it's just clingy. she's gonna kill anybody that goes near him in London. So yeah, I'm a bit worried for him there, but
because of his long silky hair, like is that what
yes, but no, but like I'm really happy because left back was, I would say, our most unstable position last year, where we could kind of upgrade, obviously, and he looks like a really good player. I'm not gonna act like I've watched him in Serie A. I was really
Can I ask a question? Sorry to cut you. Obviously, you've got Timber.
yeah.
There we go. There's the agenda.
Whoa,
There it is.
I'm just asking questions. I'm a host. Am I not meant to do this, or
No, I'm
I
joking.
don't know? Like, I mean, where does he start? Obviously, he doesn't start.
In my opinion,
or Zinchenko, like,
no, but Ash, that's the problem of the question. It's not about starting. He comes in to compete, and what we have is I would say, pretty much in every single position on the defense, 2 quality players that can play there, and only quality. So we have Ben White and Timber at right back that can play. Then maybe Saliba's replaced, because Saliba's such a good player. You just don't have a like for like replacement, but we still have Ben White. We still have Tommy. I forgot Tomiyasu can play right back too. He can play center back. He can play right center back. He can play left center. Then Gabriel. We have Gabriel, now the new signing. And then at left back, we have potentially Calafiori, Zinchenko, or Kivior, whoever stays. Probably it's going to be Zinchenko from what I'm reading. And Tomiyasu can also play. So for me, the level of depth is incredible, and I just think Calafiori is exactly what Arteta wants from the perspective of he has the attack. If you read his stats, I don't know, like if you see his, I haven't watched him as much, but if you read his stats, he has the attacking capabilities of Zinchenko, of building up play, and with the ball is really good. But defensively, he's as good as Tomiyasu also. So he's kind of a mixture of both. And so that's why I think Arsenal moved for him. But,
Harry, I want to bring you in real quick. So do you think that is the signing that's going to move the needle for Arsenal? Do you think that's the right kind of move? Do you think there's other areas that they needed to look at first?
Yeah, absolutely. I think number 9 position, I think bringing in that striker has to be a priority for Arsenal, like it does with Spurs as well. But I think Stefan makes a good point there in terms of defensively. Arsenal have a lot of cover, strong in every position, and that is really important when you're going up against a juggernaut in Manchester City. You want to have depth, prepare for worst case scenarios. So I think it's a good signing. I think that Arsenal, though, now want to prioritise on that forward line, in particular striker, and maybe a little bit more depth and options in midfield. But, they've got on with business, which is important. But generally, it's been quite a quiet transfer window. And, we know there's not that many strikers about. And if there are, the price doesn't come cheap. So it'd be interesting to see how it unfolds for a lot of teams, Arsenal being one of them, in terms of, what offensive players come in.
Cool, man. Max, what are you saying? Are you worried by that signing?
I don't want to put attention on it because it just gives me stress, bro. I don't want to think about that right now. However, just to answer, because we're on a show, I'm actually here to do that. Honestly, Calafiori, I wanted him in it because I think eventually he's going to turn into a centre back. I wanted at left back someone that's decent going forward. I've seen Calafiori.
Wait, saying they're copying you, Max? Is that a copy of him? You're saying
in this sense, I don't know if it's a copy kind of thing. Because in my opinion, even though he might play more defensive, I heard that he can play centre back sometimes.
He mainly at Bologna he mainly played centre back as part of a 3, but for Italy he's played a left back. At Roma he was a left back, so he actually started out as a left back, and then at Basel he was switched to a centre back, because if you see him, he's massive for a left back. He's huge. So I'm intrigued. I think he's the Martinez signing 2 years later. I think he's exactly why Arteta really wanted
Martinez is in Manchester United. Martinez,
yeah, because we tried to sign him. Man United beat us to him, and then we signed Zinchenko wasn't exactly the same profile, and he was going to play left back Martinez. That's where that was one of the main reasons, supposedly, why Martinez preferred to go to Man United, because he didn't want to play left back. He wanted to play center back. And so I think Calafiori is that signing, but 2 years later. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so two tactics. I'll quickly come to you. Do you think with Arsenal getting Calafiori, do you think that again helps them out in the cover for Zinchenko? Because Zinchenko's obviously been quite poor in that position. Do you think Zinchenko possibly moves on now, or does he fight for his place like Stefan was saying? Does he? Because a lot of Arsenal fans will give him a lot of stick defensively, saying he was toast each time on that left hand side. What do you think?
Oh, I think he's competition for Gabriel or Saliba.
Yeah.
If you look at his heat map, very much on the left side of the defense, he can play anywhere across there. I'm not going to pretend like I've watched him too much, but just looking at his heat map at the moment, and I think he's more of a competition for them, because I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, but you don't have real competition for Saliba or for Gabriel for that defensive position, do you? I mean, obviously you can play left back as well, but I think it's going to be defensive cover for those defensive competition for those guys. Say that again?
Well, Gabriel more so, would you say? Because obviously he's left-footed.
Yeah. More so Gabriel. Yeah, exactly. More so Gabriel. So nobody gets too. They don't get complacent. So I think it's going to be real kind of competition for the both of them, but mainly for Gabriel and for anybody in the left back position. In terms of replicating Arteta, obviously, if you look at Arteta's kind of centre back positions, all tall, athletic. Any one of them can play at left centre back, right centre back, left back, or whatnot. So he's building a real big, huge defensive unit, a competition. Nobody isn't allowing the squad to stay stagnant. I think it's a really good addition, very smart addition as well. What are they getting for 40 mil?
Yeah, roughly.
38.
You know, and what did I think West Ham got Kilman for
40.
40. So
Yeah, but that's
Archie Gray.
It's
Archie Gray
Arsenal,
was
though.
40. So
It's Arsenal, though, mate. It's Arsenal. We got that pull. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, he fended off. What was it? Juventus. He fended off Juventus, and was it? Who else was interested?
No, supposedly it broke like 15-20 minutes ago. There was a Man United tried to hijack it. Last week.
Man United are on a warpath. They're trying to hijack moves left, right, and center at the moment. It's good. It's good.
They need to, though, man. They got the noisiest neighbours. They got a long way to go to catch up.
Do you think it could possibly be a better signing than Euro? Because obviously Man United fans are hyping Euro at the moment.
Oh, do take some Man United fans seriously, though, man?
Oh, wow. Ouch.
The difference is this guy, he could possibly not walk into our team. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That guy does kind of walk into their team, so it shows where we're
I don't
kind
know.
of at.
I really Chinks. I don't know about that. I don't think. I really think people are sleeping on Harry Maguire. Yeah,
you couldn't even say it. You couldn't even say it, Steph. Your mouth wouldn't let you say it, bro. Did you see that?
He was buffering there, like.
I don't think it's as
remix.
No, but wait. I don't think it's as cemented as people describe about Euro. Like, I really don't think he's gonna come in and be. Yes, I think he'll have to be because of the amount of money they pay. Just for perspective, because you guys were comparing fees, Euro is over 20 million quid more expensive than him, and he's being paid double the amount.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. Check.
No,
Euro is being paid 8 million euros per week.
Oh, wages. My wages.
Wages. Yeah,
wages. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Calafiori is being paid 4 million from what is being reported.
Okay.
And that's with Euro being in the last year of his deal. Whilst we signed him for 38 million when Bologna had to sell him and then pay 50% of that fee to Basel. So I think the actual deal for Arsenal, in terms of value, looking at other deals, is one of the best deals.
I mean, we'll find out in 2 years' time in terms of who got the better value. We won't know right now.
Because obviously Euro was linked with Real Madrid at one point, no?
Yeah,
no, he was. Yeah.
They wanted him, but Real Madrid only wanted to pay like 25-30 million. And Man United came in and said, we're going to gazump them by paying more than double that.
What does that mean? What does that mean anyway, though? Ain't Kepa in goal for Real Madrid, though?
No, Kepa isn't in goal for Real Madrid. What are you talking about?
No, but like, does just because Real Madrid are interested, it makes you automatically that guy?
No, because if you look at Real Madrid's recruitment policy of young players over the last 6-7 years, they've been exceptional. Chinks, Valverde, Tchouameni, Camavinga, all of the Brazilians they've signed.
Bellingham, no.
Bellingham.
Yeah, it's like you're buying guys who. It's like buying Saka. Are we going to say it's incredible youth recruitment if you're buying like the guys who are known to be the guys? I can give you the Brazilians, but all those other guys you named, I would have bought them. It's kind of easy. It's not expert scouting.
I mean, yeah, but they still came good playing. Like Camavinga came from Rennes to Real Madrid and improved. So that shows that he had the right mentality and was the right profile. I can give you numerous young players that went to Real Madrid and flopped that were just as you would say hype. That was very talented youngsters. Van der Vaart, I think Royston Drenthe. I remember he was a super talent. There are a number of young players. Whilst they have literally Valverde, he came from Uruguay. Like I forgot how much they paid for him. It was not, but he's turned into one of the. I love Valverde. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the world. Nobody talks about him when they talk about Real Madrid in terms of like their best players. I think he's easily one of them. So that's why I think because Real Madrid are linked to him and he's a young player, that's why everybody's saying, okay, that means if he's 18 and Real Madrid want to sign him, that means he's really, really good.
Yeah, and then Real Madrid have got a real good balance to their squad. I think Modric talked about it as a balance that everybody wants. So they got a real older elite guys. Obviously, Cruz has just retired, but as of this year, Cruz, Modric, those guys, and Carvajal, not bad. And then obviously you've got kind of the mid-range in their peak guys. Who can I think from top of my head? It's gone from me now, but like 25 to or 20. Militao, all those guys there, and then you got the Rudiger, exactly, and then you got the Bellinghams, Camavingas, all that. This is the balance with my age and experience that all of our teams really, really want.
Yeah,
so it's really fantastic.
Harry, just a quick one. Sorry, I'm going to move it real quick because Harry hasn't got a lot of time, and that was Mike's. Just on that striker piece you're talking about, both Spurs and Arsenal need a striker. Arsenal have been linked with a striker called Guy Corrèze. I don't know if you've heard of him. Do you think, yeah, probably. Do you think he moves the needle for Arsenal? I know like some Arsenal fans don't believe they need a striker. Some do. Do you think like if they get Guy Corrèze, they can take out Mike's, for example, and see?
Wow, I'm not going to sit here and go that yes, because we know how strong Man City are. It'd just be disrespectful to them to say so. I don't know that much about him, but I do think that Arsenal do need a striker. But at the same time, I can understand why some fans think they don't, because the problem for me, last season for Arsenal wasn't necessarily scoring goals. They scored a lot of goals, and arguably defensively really good as well. It's just little things. Lapse in concentration like the home game against Villa. So I can understand where it's coming from. I look at someone like Spurs and go, yeah, we need a striker because the way that Ange Postecoglou plays and we don't get the second goal, we end up dropping points and quite a few points across the season. 12 games we lost in the end. That is too many for a team that wants to be inside top four. But for Arsenal, I still think they do need a striker. Whether they should spend huge on it, I don't know. But you've got to find a way to close that gap to City. They pushed until the end. But, it takes a lot to beat Manchester City. We know that. And Liverpool got 96, 97 points and didn't win the title. I mean, that's unheard of. That just shows how high the level Pep Guardiola has created. So it'd be really interesting, as I said, to see how the striker situation unfolds. There's a lot of teams that need a striker, and I'd add Chelsea into that conversation and several clubs as well. There's a lot of striker activity, if you like. But, we haven't seen a lot of it, but there should be.
Just to hold you on that point, because you said that, striker, they don't really need one. Defense, obviously, they got Calafiori, they've improved there.
Yeah.
So they're getting closer to what they need. Do you think maybe that, I don't know, looking at the midfield, was that maybe a problem with Rice? Obviously, we saw him in the Euros, and we see how he doesn't really progress the ball in the transition build-up. And then you've got players like Jorginho's had to come in, but he's a bit old. He's a bit, not old, but he's not. It's no spring chicken. Do you know what I mean? So Partey's, in and out. We don't know if Partey's going to be there next season. So do you think like maybe in the midfielder area, that's maybe where they need to improve?
Yeah, I do think the midfield's all right. I think it's about adding depth and adding that competition. Like with Odegaard, to have someone to keep him on his toes, keep him performing strongly. And again, same with Declan Rice as well. I thought was a massive signing for Arsenal last season. Done really well, chipped in with the goals and offered a lot of protection to that defence. We saw statistically, it looked really good for Arsenal defensively last season compared to the season before. I think that's a reflection of a really gelled partnership between Saliba and Gabriel, an improved goalkeeper in David Raya, but also a big chunk is down to Declan Rice and what he has bring. Okay, he wasn't fantastic in the Euros, but he put a lot into that season for Arsenal, played a lot of games. So I do think they do need depth in midfield. I don't think Arsenal need that much. It's just little things and getting that fine recruitments right to take them from second place to first. It is fine margins. That was proved last season. They took City right to the very end. So we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Ash, just to add on Harry, what Harry said, the two positions that Arsenal were the most unstable in, where you weren't sure, kind of like, for example, Gabriel starts every game. He's the first name on the team sheet. Saliba, or left back and left number 8, because the left 8 it was switched. So who are Arsenal interested? They are signing Calafiori, left back, and now we really want Mikel Merino, who is the left 8. Who's basically, if you watch him play, he's Granit Xhaka's. He's like a little bit more athletic and more mobile Granit Xhaka.
Do you think he's as good a passer as a Xhaka, though?
I don't think he's as good of a passer, but I think he's much better in the box.
You need, in terms of progressing the ball.
No, because the guy last season, the two people that we missed for most of the season were the best progressive passers on our team, and those were Jurriën Timber and Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, especially for me.
Stefan, I'd also say I think you probably do need a right winger, because you look at the amount of games that Saka played at such a young age. I think it's a massive amount, and you're not going to get the best out of him. He's more likely to pick up an injury that way. And obviously on the left, you have got that with Martinelli and Trossard. I think you need someone on the right. You don't have to, again, splash the cash, go big, but just someone to offer that little bit of competition.
No, Harry, I completely agree with you. I do think we'll go for. I think a winger is more likely than a striker. I think the options based on the value and the asking, the fees and the available strikers. I think we're gonna go for a winger. I think we'll only sign a winger if we manage to sell Nketiah, Nelson, and maybe Smith Rowe. I think we're trying to sell.
What's happening with Nico Williams?
He's going to Barcelona.
Why?
Because when Barcelona wants you, this is what I'm saying. This is about that guy that doesn't like asking the girl for the number because somebody else is there. You guys are Arsenal Football Club. You're gonna have these guys are. You know what? Barcelona at the moment, they're that guy at the till who just is pretending like he forgot his money at the wallet and at home, but he really doesn't have the money to pay. What happens? Look at Man United. They just put down 50 mil on Euro because Real Madrid refused to pay, wouldn't go above 20, and then Euro ended up going there. Why don't you at least, if the shots you miss are the ones that you never take? No, but the fact that you're not even.
PSR though, PSR, bro.
No.
So what if
Arsenal bid? Have Arsenal bid for him?
But what if? So let's say hypothetically speaking, because Hardtech already said at the end of the season we have to be more sensible with our spending because PSR. What if we just do this thing where we blow the money out, just pay whatever they want us to pay, and then end of the year we win the league, but then we've not done PSR, and then we get a 10-point deduction, and they take the league away. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole. No one is moving fast in the transfer market.
I'm with you about the PSR. I mean, goodness gracious, guys. Look. If you believe, you guys are in the Champions League for the second, third year running. You got money in the bank. You haven't, California wasn't bought for 80 million or anything like that. You've got money. No one's stupid enough goes into a transfer window saying, "Hey guys, I've got 300 million to spend. Who's going to give me some players?" Of course, you're going to plead poverty.
But did you see us just do Klarna payments for Raya? Did you see us do Klarna or ClearPay? The money's just not running like that, bro.
If you guys believe that, I swear, if you guys
two.
believe that story, I'll be amazed that you guys believe.
Wait. Two. First of all, for Nico Williams, we have tried, and if you read the
you made a bid. You made an official bid.
No. It's not about.
You haven't tried.
It's not about making a bid.
We
have spoken.
Ask for the number. If you don't know that,
that's
ask
actually
for the
good.
number.
No.
You didn't make a bid.
You're piling on now, lads. You're piling on now.
Wait. We have. He has said this. We have tried. You haven't
tried. You haven't made a bid.
No. In terms of,
bro, he's trying to get the number. But you keep him. He's trying to get the number, bro.
Wait, it's not about making a bid. We have spoken to his agents. He said that his preference is Barcelona, and that is his priority.
No, you're the one.
That can be changed, but by a bit of ambition from Arsenal, that can easily be changed. You have to go in and put a bid in. I'm with Toon on that. You have to take a risk. You have to add yourself to that conversation.
Look, we put down 60 million straight for Elise when Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and all those. We're four chains down the pecking order in that. But we put them. Not only did we put it down, but we matched the wages and we gave the favorable installments. So Elise can. So if Bayern Munich are scampering for change, Chelsea scampering for change,
he'd be your biggest player though, too.
Exactly.
He wouldn't be ours.
So, but he knows that we like him.
But he wouldn't be our biggest. So now we got to fracture our rate. We got to fracture our wage structure just for this one guy who wouldn't be our biggest.
Nico Williams replaces Martinelli, no?
Pardon?
Doesn't Nico Williams replace Martinelli?
No, Saka. Isn't he on the right? Isn't it?
But either way, does that differ from the point that he wouldn't be our biggest player?
He can play left or right, in fact, actually.
Yeah, but just because he's in the starting 11, it don't mean he's our biggest player.
Guys, competition. There's no such thing as backups.
I hear you, but I think he comes in for Martinelli. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but that's not my argument. My argument is he our biggest player?
Why does that matter? I don't get it.
Because the way you're talking about the players you're bidding for would be your biggest players, so it makes sense blowing your wage structure.
It wouldn't be.
No, it doesn't.
Come on.
What is that? I don't know.
They're great players.
What trophy winners?
You guys won't even make a bid. I'm saying if lowly old Newcastle, who've got 3 times less the revenue that you guys have got, can put £60 million, challenge Bayern Munich, Chelsea, all those guys can do that. Why can't Arsenal?
Have you ever thought about this though? Yeah, because you know, like they say that deals start before you even put in an offer in it. So maybe our club just has a decent enough reputation where we can actually holler at the agent.
Thankfully, we've got Man United here.
No, but hold on,
bids down.
We can actually holler at the agent and get some info. Maybe you lot hollered at the agent and they just said Newcastle. They didn't even send the email across when you hollered. So you had to make
what have I joined?
I want to hear what Mike said.
Arsenal fans are falling over their feet to tell me why they won't put a bid down for Nico Williams.
Before Max bounces, I want to hear what he thinks, because obviously, as a City man, I know you men are on Beasley's. You're on that Beasley.
I'll be honest, yeah.
Don't muck around. So, from your point of view,
the reason why I haven't been getting blessed too much recently is because I've put all of my blessings and prayers hoping that Arsenal don't sign Gaio Carriers, bro, because I believe he will add a lot of viscosity to their attack, bro. He's a different attacker. He's got a lot of intensity.
What is it? Is that a biscuit? What's it? What's that?
Viscosity, bro. It'll thicken it up.
Mean?
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Bro. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, bro.
He's a spicy mope, man. He's a spicy mope.
He's not a spicy mope.
Don't have that.
I think no, but I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm trying to give you man some credit, bro. You know what I'm saying? The way you man play, the chances that you create, you've got a lot of pass first instead of shoot first players. He's a shoot first, bro. You give him some chances, he might be clinical. Who knows, bro? I hope not, but we'll see, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, okay. I mean, this is great to see, but Gyökeres is, from what I read, he has a 100 million euro release clause, and you're gonna pay 100 million euros. I really like him. He's got Harry said it. He's got amazing stats. He's got He's got ridiculous stats for last season. But let's be honest, it's one season.
Well, he's Portugal championship. I don't know, man.
You're forgetting Coventry, bro.
He also did well there too. But I'm saying that you're putting all your chips towards him for. I don't think so. I told you my preference for a striker, if he was available, was Watkins. I would want Watkins because Watkins is
He is available.
He's not
There's
available.
no way.
How
There's
much
no
do you
way.
reckon? How
Yeah,
much do you reckon
but-
Watkins?
80 mil,
How much do you
80
reckon
mil.
Watkins cost?
80 mil.
Watkins,
80
Watkins, he just finished with the highest goals and assists in the league. I would say Watkins costs at least 90 million, probably.
Exactly.
down.
So if you can't afford 100 million,
No,
then you can't afford Watkins.
You did that on Rice, though.
Are you on mute, Harry? Harry, you're on mute.
Rice, you're like, here you go. Yeah, take it.
it's
Yeah.
not that. Yeah,
I think that every player is available. I don't buy any of this. Oh, this player's not for sale. If you put a good enough offer in, they're going to listen. Like Watkins, if I came and said 130 million for Watkins, they're not going to just ignore. They would at least consider it and probably accept it. So, like with Isak as well. I mean, I'm sorry to I've done this the whong way. With Spurs, I've said, just put a bid on the table and get it started. Coming for you.
but guys. Aston Villa's ownership are super ambitious. They're not.
They just sold Douglas Luiz
he's not for
and his
sale at any
girlfriend.
price.
Yeah, true. Go for
They
them.
just sold Douglas Luiz and his girlfriend, mate. Like,
No,
they're
they
up,
sold. No, they sold Douglas Luiz because they had to sell one of their players. It
because
wasn't
somebody put a bid
Watkins.
down, right?
Yeah, no, they
No
didn't put a
bids, no
bid
sell,
down.
right?
They didn't
I'm
put
just
a bid. It wasn't like that too. They did some really shady
Take care,
business
Mike.
with
Big up.
Big up.
with Juve. So it always happens. They always do. They always, they did a 50 million euro. What was it? A 50 million euro deal with Juventus, and then they signed, I think, 25 million euros worth of players from Juve. I think two younger players that they signed. It was super shady. So it wasn't like, and
This is
it was
heartbreaking, honestly.
It was
Like,
shady, man.
This is like, I don't understand this. So Juventus, coming from Italy, who haven't got the most money in the world, and now you're like, if you put 80, 90 million down for Watkins, who's 29 years old,
They're not going to accept it. They won't.
Why?
Because he's their best player. They're going into the
I thought
Champions
so was
League in the
Douglas
first
Luiz.
year. Why would they?
So was
If
Douglas
they
Luiz.
have any
Watkins.
ambition, if they have any ambition, why would they accept selling Watkins? And I know
Have you
the
seen?
owner.
Have you seen Villa's transfers lately? Do you know how reckless they are in the transfer window? They bought and sold youth players of Chelsea just to stay within PSR. They then sold Declan Rice and his girlfriend, so then they can go and buy some other players. If you give them 90 million, they'll find another striker.
I think Villa have been very sensible, though. They let Douglas Luiz go when they've got Andre Onana straight up to come in and replace. So I do think they're quite sensible. Whereas, like, you've seen someone like Spurs as an example, we sell Harry Kane and every club knows that we've got all this money about. So then we don't bring a striker in because you get the Harry Kane tax added onto it, and that's it's all about disguising it. I think Villa have done that well. I think 80, 90 million, they will consider it. Whether they accept or not, I don't know. It'd be whether they get a replacement in or not. I think Villa are clever enough to not focus on the price and think about the player, where they want to be, and if anyone else can come in. So it's really interesting, and I don't know what Aston Villa would do.
Before you buy Tony, they'll sell Watkins and buy Tony.
No, but wait, but guys, you say Harry said Villa are spending wisely. I don't think so. They massively overpaid for Ahmed. I think Onana is one of the most overrated players.
But they bought him in. That's all that matters, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Villa are winning the transfer market.
How?
Villa are doing
very well.
By your very own what's his name on TalkSport? What's the experts dude on TalkSport does drive
O'Hara.
Yeah, by your very own O'Hara. Villa are winning the transfer market.
How are they?
They've done smart business. You got to give it to them.
They haven't.
They've done some pretty smart business.
How have they lost? In my opinion, apart from Watkins, their best player, and they signed an inferior player. How are they doing good business?
Villa are like the guy that goes into the club that asks every girl for their number. Like it's gonna get a yes from somewhere. Like they don't care.
But they've only just got their driver's license, isn't it? So they're happy they're in the Champions League. They're just trying. You get what I'm saying? You got to give them credit, man.
Exactly.
No, but guys, you're really underestimating. I would say the impact that Douglas Luiz. I would have loved him.
Yeah, but Stefan
at Arsenal, he's a great player.
With Onana, with the guile of
Barkley.
Do you understand?
They're putting Ross Barkley as well. Was that 5 million?
McGinn and Ramsey.
And bro, together, you're looking at one aspect.
They've got a unit now instead of one.
Physicality and to make up for what you've lost from Douglas Luiz. But then they bought Ross Barkley smartly to give that creativity.
Free transfer.
And then also, like we said before, they got the Jacob Ramsey on top. Do you know what I mean? And so as a collective, Emery, he kind of knows what he's doing with that midfield. He's like, right, you know what? Last time we didn't have enough bite in that midfield. At the same time, we're lacking a bit of creativity. Let me
look at the money they got in for Diaby as well. They're very clever. They use Saudis in the right way, and they maximise how much they could get for him, and so they can spend that around the season.
Harry,
I think they've done really well.
Let me ask you, Harry, just what do you think if Unai Emery was to get a player that we've all seen called Joao Felix? Do you think that would be a better acquisition for Aston Villa, replacing Diaby? Diaby's a wide man, but he used to play more of a 3-5-2 at times, or sometimes you play a 4-2. Like he would switch around the formation.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't see it at all, really. I think that Felix, the only way it would work is if he was there with competition for Watkins to kind of step in with Villa having Champions League as well. We've got to remember it's a lot to juggle, and Newcastle struggled to do it. Man United struggled to do it. There's a lot of teams that were impacted by trying to go really hard for Europe. In Newcastle's case, you can relate. They put a lot into that Champions League. Had a decision that went against them. They went out, or they gave it a lot. I think they're very unlucky not to go through. But then they got so many injuries, and then go back to the league, and they find themselves in a difficult situation. So Villa have got to get that balance right. To bring him in as to the backup, if you like, I don't know the word backup, but competition with Watkins would make sense. But generally, as a wide player, I can't really see it. I think that there's better out there that you can have a look.
It's not that.
They've got Bailey, but someone put in the chat earlier Pedro Neto, and I know the injuries at the end of the season is a worry, but you can play left and right, so that covers two positions. For Aston Villa, and if anyone else has to go, like a Jacob Ramsey, you can also play on that left-hand side of midfield. It does cover a lot of worries.
They have also bought Ilin Jr. From Juventus. Obviously, he's a young player.
Villa also have to try and sell shirts as well, right? Remember, like they've just, like we say in it, they've just got their driver's license going into the club. They want to wear a nice watch as well, and that's what Joao Felix is, and he's a name that's going to be recognizable. That's going to get fans excited. That's going to get, and he's also I think people kind of look at his little stint in the Premier League before and say maybe not, but he's a really, really good player who works like he's a workhorse, and that's
How is he a workhorse? How is he a workhorse?
Joao Felix is a workhorse.
Under Simeone, he was working.
I think so.
Nobody
I think he puts a lot of effort in.
Under Simeone and
look at Chelsea. He's the only one pressing under Chelsea, trying to bring positive things.
I don't know where you're getting these facts. At Atletico Madrid, he got dropped.
You don't want to accept it.
Wait. At Atletico Madrid, Simeone wanted to get rid of the most expensive signing in Atletico history. Tried to get rid of him for 2 seasons in a row. Loaned him to Chelsea, where he started the first 5-6 games, then got dropped by Graham Potter. Then went back to Atletico. They loaned him. No,
I don't think he was dropped by Graham Potter. He's Chelsea's most important player for that season.
No, okay,
I don't remember that.
He got dropped by Lampard or Potter. He wasn't starting. Then he went back to Atletico, went to Barcelona.
I thought he did all right.
Started well, and
then done all right. Chelsea. I thought he'd done all right at Barca.
No, he didn't.
I just don't think that.
So Stefan, as far as you see, and look, we all see things different. So, but as far as you see it, Joao Felix has just been a failure through his entire career in the last 5 years.
Why did he become a professional footballer then, Stefan? If he's that bad,
Onana's overrated.
First of all,
who's that guy Barkley?
Villa are washed up.
You guys are taking my comments too literally. He's an amazing talent player, but he's soft mentally. He has zero character or dog or any sort of hustle, and you could see that. That's why
Havertz was before he played Arsenal, right?
You can't really say about his character if you don't know him personally.
What do you mean? I can't say
we don't see what goes on in training grounds. It could be the most positive, uplifting, I don't know, character in training. We just don't know that. You just judge him on the football pitch. A lot goes in behind the scenes.
Okay, Harry, I know this. Simeone doesn't rate him. Xavi didn't rate him. But
I don't know about that.
By the end of his stint, and Lampard didn't rate him. So that's
how many games did he play under Simeone at Atletico?
Simeone didn't. Why are they trying to literally sell their most expensive?
You haven't got a viable case with Lampard because
Stop.
Lampard hasn't done nothing in his managerial career, so he wouldn't know if he saw a good player. So I think that's completely invalid, and I don't agree with Xavi either. So you know your points limited to one potentially.
Guys, I watched La Liga. He was dropped by Barcelona. He even moaned in the press about being dropped by Xavi. Go check.
That happens. Every player's dropped in their career.
But he was okay. So
does it define their career or their ability as a player?
Yeah, but Harry, he got dropped in a shit Barcelona team. They were shit, and he still couldn't make it in that team. They had no striker. Gavi was injured for the whole season, and he still couldn't play. He still couldn't start regularly at Barcelona. And then, Xavi, he's not a good coach. I agree with you. Simeone is literally going to isolate and try and sell the most expensive asset and one of the most expensive players in the world, and you're telling me
so Steph, so basically he's not good enough for Villa is basically what you're saying.
I'm saying that he's a super talent, but he's soft mentally, and if you pay big money for him and you expect him to be the main man,
I don't know where you're getting the soft mentally from. You can go he's not physically strong, but where's this mentality thing come from? That's something you don't know.
Stefan, he made 30. He's made 38. He's made 38 appearances each and every season for the since 2016.
Okay.
That doesn't sound to me like a player who's getting dropped.
Okay. How many of those appearances?
Goalposts.
How many of those did he actually start?
I don't have that.
Okay. I'm telling you, he's not rated by Simeone. He wasn't rated by Xavi. That's why Barcelona didn't try to re-sign him.
Let me ask you a question based on the fact that he's soft mentally, yeah. Because that would ensure that when the going gets tough, he gets going, basically, innit? Like he doesn't batten down the hatches and rumble, innit? So do you think he's better than Nunes? Because he's amazing. Like, he's not soft. He'll jump in the crowd and fight everybody.
Oh no,
do you know what I mean?
I rate Darwin far more than Felix. I would rather have Darwin Nunes any day, even with his misses, even with everything.
Yeah, I rate Darwin Nunes. I just think he's one of these players that when he finds his groove with scoring, it's going to be quite.
Wait, Chris.
Before you carry on, Stefan. Sorry to cut you. Harry needs to cut. He needs to go. So
thank you very much. Really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Nice to see you, Harry. I want to talk about the young Spurs guys, man, but we'll talk about that another time, man. About the 18-year-olds and the 19-year-olds and the rest of them. But yeah, big up, Scarfy.
Thank you very much. See you later. Have a good evening, all.
Yeah, man.
All the best.
See us. Chris, please tell them, because you live in Spain, you live in Barcelona. Tell them about Joao Felix at Barcelona and at Atletico Madrid. What was the main reason at Atletico that was in the report as to why Diego Simeone did not rate Joao Felix? And what did Xavi say about Joao Felix?
That's a very neutral question there, Stefan.
Listening to you, Steph, it sounds like you're more of a Barcelona fan than me. But I don't live in Barcelona, but I've been a Barcelona fan for 41 years, same as Spurs. And there's a lack of consistency in Joao Felix. He's very technical, and sometimes he pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Most times he doesn't perform, right? Because he's very indisciplined as a player. When he turns it on, he's great to watch. He scored great goals, very good trickery, as I've seen this year on his loan spell. They paid 117 million euros, something flat that stupid for Benfica. The next wonder kid. But listen, he hasn't lived up to his expectation. Highly, highly overrated as a player, in my opinion, because it's a lack of consistency. And Simeone, as far as I know, Simeone just got fed up of him because he's not trainable. You can't train someone that doesn't want to be trained. And with Simeone's his outlook on how his team wants to play, Joao Felix is
the opposite,
the other way. It's like totally incoherent with what, a defensive minded, like very compact, very, So Joao Felix is not this kind of player. Regarding Xavi's not a good coach. I heard you say that. Listen, I respect all opinions. I don't agree on it. I just think that the circumstances of the club, with Laporta possibly going behind his back, possibly saying promising stuff, and then but I don't agree that he's not a good coach. But anyway, Joao Felix, stay away, as I put in the chat. Stay away from Joao Felix because he's a liability and not consistent enough. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Anyways, I want to talk about a certain Manchester United hero.
So you see with sorry before you go, so you see with Joao Felix, it seems that like his head's up his arse a bit, really and truly.
And that's why I said he's soft. That's why.
No, but say for the clubs that he's been have been big clubs where it's like that rule of licking your ass don't really apply. So he's even if all the other players on the pitch worked hard to make up for his lack of, you don't think an environment could be created for him where he can excel at all?
That's true, Chinks. But if you're signed at 17 years old for 120 million euros, right, you've got a hell of a lot of pressure on you because you have to perform, especially a big club like Atletico, whether he went on loan to Chelsea, Barcelona, whatever. But you'd think that after like 4 or 5 years, I don't know how old he is now, right?
24.
He's 24. Okay, that's cool. So after 7 years, right, you'd actually drop or be accustomed to that kind of pressure, the weight that's been put on you for being such a young guy, such a huge fee. But it's the lack of, I just don't think he wants it enough, and I just can't see it, man. Now I think that Barcelona are in for him again, like Joao Cancelo on loan. But I think Atletico Madrid want to sell him. I'm not surprised, but I think they're asking for 35 million or something like that, and Barcelona are not agreeing to that because it's just not.
And he's also on massive wages, from what I read. He's one of the highest paid players.
He's on 400,000 euros. Barcelona are paying 400,000 euros of his wage at Atletico Madrid. So covering it for those 6 months or whatever it was, but I can't see it. I think Barcelona are going very seriously for Dani Olmo, who can play, left forward. He can play cam. He can play and Joao Felix is not going to be. He's going to be available for like. I had Benfica back in for him again, but. I mean, I'd stay away. If I was Spurs, Newcastle, Arsenal, Man United, I'd stay away. All of
you guys that laughed at me, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, well done. Let's move on. So, Ten Hag. All right. Sorry. Ten Hag this week, because it's been a week now, and a lot has happened and a lot hasn't happened, but Ten Hag has come with some real balls, some real chest. And he made a comment, and he said he's made the biggest impact. Was it the biggest impact?
Mm-hmm. Hey, sorry. Before you even finish that question, Ash,
go on.
Ash, come on. You know better than this.
Come on, I'm just.
You know better, Ash.
Mine now. It didn't come up. Listen,
it didn't come out of Ten Hag's mouth either. That's the thing about it. They said to him around trophies, and he said, other than outside of Pep Guardiola, nobody has won more trophies than me in the past couple of years. That is the media put that as Ten Hag thinks he's the biggest thing since sliced bread, butter wouldn't melt, and he's had the most impact since. He said, if you look at my impact, nobody has won more trophies than me since I've been here other than Pep Guardiola. That's just factually true.
That's true.
That's just factually true. That is not arguable. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the impact that I've had, nobody has won more trophies than me since I've been here outside of Pep Guardiola. It's just fact.
But do you rate him? Do you rate him, Jons?
Do I rate him? I rate him. I'll use the word quite highly. I was on the fence. I was on the fence last year. The first year I was massively impressed with what he done at United. I think it was huge, and I think, like most supporters, you know the context of your club more than other people do, right? If you support Arsenal, you're not gonna look as deeply unless you're Stefan, whose football knowledge. I have to say, Stefan, I tip my hat off. I'm going to hold my hand up. I'll say my bad about Joao Felix. But you're not going to know the inner workings of the club as much as somebody who supports the club and is invested, right? So I think that what Ten Hag has been dealing with, that structure, dealing with the Glazers who had bankers doing transfers for the last 10 years, I think Ten Hag's done really, really well, given what he had.
But Yoms,
that's a fair point.
Wait. Can I just ask Yoms this? Why is it with Man United fans that whenever Man United do shit, and they always give their managers money, including Ten Hag, it's always the Glazers' fault. But when Man United do well, it's because of the coach.
All right, so tell me when Man United did well under the Glazers.
Whatever, just okay. Under, for example, Ollie, they finished in the. We finished second under Ollie,
yes, in the worst Premier League. That was the lockdown Premier League, right?
But you
and
still
we finished. And I get it, but we was 25 odd points behind City in second. That shows you how terrible the Premier League was that year. Right. So I'm not going to say that Ollie was fantastic, and I'm not going to say it was down to the Glazers. It was just down to sometimes circumstances happen. That if we play that football with those players again this year, next year, we don't finish in the top 10.
No, okay. Wait. Let me ask you this then.
He caught him there.
No. Okay. Let me ask you this. The Glazers facilitated every single transfer that he wanted. He wanted Anthony, they paid 100 million. He wanted Mason Mount on the last. He wanted Mason Mount on the last year of his deal. They paid 60 million. The only thing they haven't done. Just wait. The only thing that the Glazers didn't do was make the third kit the Dutch kit. That is the only thing they haven't.
Stefan, what you are describing, with all due respect, what you are describing is exactly, you're reinforcing my point, right? That is a badly run club. Any club that just gets whoever the manager says is a good player, right, and pays over the odds for him, doesn't. So when we wanted Anthony, right, Ajax quoted 50 million, 60 million. They said you have to buy him before the 31st of July, I think it was. We didn't do that. We came in late in the day and they said, well, if you want him now, it's going to be 90 million. The Glazers said, fuck it, we'll pay it. Right? That is a bad.
Why? Because
hold on, Steph.
That is a badly run club.
Do you agree with that, Toon?
Yes.
So you say Man U's badly run for just paying whatever they want to pay, yeah? But then you're condemning Arsenal and Arteta for not just paying whatever they want us to pay.
The context that Yoms is talking about is a club's told them 60 million by the 31st of July. They didn't pay for the pet player. Now it's past 31st of July. They said, okay, 90 million. They pay for him. In the case of Nico Williams, what's the release clause? 50 million. So what are you?
58 million.
So go put up the 58 million.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But the reason why clubs might not do that, the reason why clubs might not do that though, but the reason why clubs might not do that though is because with clauses, they tend to be a one-time payment.
Yeah.
So that 58 million is going to be if you cough up 58 million in one go.
Or
right. So for example,
yeah.
For example, United paid 4 million above the transfer fee that we the release clause for Xerxes.
Okay.
Right. But that enabled us to pay 10 million a year over the next 3 years or whatever it might be.
You're forgetting. See, Yoms, this is what I mean by Man United fans. I have to call you out. The reason why you signed Xerxes over Milan is because their agent wanted massive commissions. And you guys, this whole new structure and this new way of business that you did, like you overpaid for Euro, and you overpaid for Xerxes because nobody wanted to touch Xerxes because of the agent commissions. Guess who comes up? Man United.
Stefan,
of course.
in the USA, right? Famous rappers have a saying, right? It said it ain't tricking if you got it, right? Look, the 10 million or whatever it was fee for the agent might have been big balls to AC Milan, but obviously United worked that within their budget, and given the type of player that he is and what we need and what we're trying to build, if he fits it, then you're going to say, all right, cool, we'll work that into the budget. I'm not mad at that. Whether it goes to the agent, whether it goes to his club, I couldn't give two shits. I don't think we overpaid for Xerxes. Do you get what I'm saying? If AC Milan really wanted the player that bad, I don't think that they are this moralistic club.
No, can I comment on that point? Because obviously we've got a new intel that we've got a new number 9. We've given a number 9 shirt to a certain Hojlund.
Rasmus.
Rasmus. Sorry,
Mr. Rasmus.
Mr. Rasmus. And my question to you and the panel is: do you believe, from what you saw last season, that Rasmus Hojlund can get 15 plus goals in that number 9 role?
Well, he did last year. So,
in the Premier League?
We got 10 in the Premier League from, I think he got 10 from 20.
Not in the Prem, not in like all competitions.
And then 5 in the Champions League.
I phrased it wrong. 15 in the Premier League. Apologies.
I think he can if he gets the right service. I mean, United have the greediest. We literally have people on the wide areas who do not pass. If you're playing FIFA, these men don't have X buttons. Like, so if he gets the service, he'll get the goals.
That's very true.
That. He's outperformed his XG.
What has changed on the wings? That's what I want to know.
So you bring in somebody like a Xerxes.
Depends if you play the young kid that you've got, Ahmed.
Ahmad, you've got Xerxes now. People who like to who can actually see the past, technical players. You also bring in you also bring in a Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy, I don't think is there to sharpen Rasmus. I think he's there to say to all the strikers, this is what a number 9 needs. Do you get what I'm saying? This is the type of service they need.
Does Xerxes play with Hojlund up front, or does Bruno play behind?
Bruno has to play
wide.
Xerxes
can also play wide.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Or he can also play wide. He can be in. I think he changes the way we play also. So he gives us a backup plan to the way we play. So we're no longer one-dimensional.
Yoms, but from what I've watched, his best position, if you watched for Bologna and stuff, and I read some stats on him, is he likes to play kind of like a false line behind. I think if he plays Xerxes, he'll play him kind of behind Hojlund so he can facilitate the play build-up, because Hojlund building up the play last season was not very good. I know you think he was great. I don't know what you were watching, but okay.
Hojlund is not a player. I'm sorry, Stefan. I do not know what Hojlund is not a player that builds up the play. That is why we bought Xerxes. Hojlund is a traditional number 9 who likes to be.
But a traditional number 9 builds up the play. He holds up the ball and spreads the wingers.
No, he just doesn't, Stefan. A traditional number 9.
Crouch.
Van Nistelrooy. Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Van Nistelrooy. Are you guys seriously saying Alan Shearer and Van Nistelrooy couldn't hold up the ball and pass it to the wingers?
No, you hold up the ball and build up the play are two different things.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't. It's not that they can't. It's not that they can't. It's just that they are not deployed to do that. Obviously, you have to hold up the play so the second line comes in behind you if you're blocked and you can't advance. Okay, that's just basics. But they're not meant to do that. They're meant to finish the play. They're not meant to start the play.
No, but I think what Steph means is because like Van Nistelrooy will drop deep, knock it to the wing, then get back in the box to finish it. I think that's maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's
Arsenal way. That wasn't Man United.
No, but a lot of strikers have done that though.
No,
you know what I mean?
Do you know what the difference is, right? So Van Nistelrooy famously had a problem with Ronaldo when he started. Yeah, he said, "I do not know when the ball is going to be coming in the box. Right? Get the ball, put it in the box, and I will find a way to get that into the back of the net." That was his job. That's all he was interested in. Hojlund is a similar type of striker in that he wants to be on the shoulder of the last defender. He doesn't want to drop deep, and that's why we bring in a Xerxes, because Xerxes wants to drop deep. So he changes the way we play. Do you see what I mean? Xerxes, somebody like a Rashford would benefit from a Xerxes, whereas Rasmus would benefit from somebody like an Ahmad who sees the pass, who's a lot more technically gifted. So he gives us options. Rasmus, I think, done very well last year. 21-year-old coming into the worst Man United we've seen in any of our lifetimes, not getting any service, outperforming his XG and scoring 15 goals in his first season.
Stop saying he
I
outperformed
do not.
XG.
He outperformed his XG.
It was like
did.
a little bit. He outperformed. Like it's not.
It doesn't matter. He's got a better conversion rate than players that you rate. He's got a better chance to goal rate. He's got a better one than players that you rate.
Who are you talking about now?
So Ivan Toney that you was talking about that you rate.
I like Ivan Toney as a player, but I agree with you.
Ivan Toney is a 1 in 4.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. And Rasmus is a 1 in 1. So I don't understand how you can. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't understand. Like if your XG is 9.7 and you score 10 goals, you're a 1 in 1. I lie?
No, Yums. What? I disagree with you on how you read the XG. The goals that he has scored. So he is expected to score 10 goals, and he has scored 10.1 or 10.2. So he has literally scored the goals that you expect. Somebody that exceeds their XG was players like Harry Kane and Son at Spurs, where they literally would exceed their XG by like 6 or 7.
I don't know. So I don't know. I haven't looked at Harry Kane's XG over his Spurs.
Okay.
Harry Kane. What I'm saying is, if you look at Ivan Toney's XG to conversion rate, Rasmus is better. I'm not saying Rasmus is a better player, because I think Ivan Toney would probably get more chances because he's probably got more better movement. Rasmus is raw. He's 21. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think saying he's rubbish and all of this kind of stuff.
I don't say he's rubbish. People take my takes. I just say I don't think he's a Man United. Like from what I remember,
you put a little bit more Maggie on that in the group, bro.
Okay,
put a little bit more spice on that in the group.
You know what, Yum? Screw it. In 2 years,
Lazio. He's going to Lazio.
Yeah, in 2 years,
this is what I'm saying. He's going Lazio and all this on loan. You know, man told me where he's going and how he's getting there, and all of a sudden, I'm not saying. Look, Ash, I beg of you. At the end of each season, we need a "I told you so" session, bro.
Okay, book it. There, you guys can record it. Your witnesses. In 2 years, he's on loan to Lazio. There, I'm telling you right now, he's on loan.
You know why? You know why that's genius? Because in 2 years, no one's gonna even give a fuck. So none of you look. You can't say anything to him anyway. So he's just.
Well, they're not gonna.
Hey, so what are we saying, that Hojlund can score more goals than Toney this season?
Where's Toney going to play?
I want to chat. I want to know regardless of where Toney ends up.
No, I don't think he can. Tony will score more goals. Tony takes pens.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a difference. If Toney plays for Brentford or Arsenal, there's gonna be a difference between how many goals he scores, I think.
No, dude, ask him this: if Toney plays for Man United, who do you think would score more goals, Hojlund or Toney?
No, Toney will. Toney will score more goals.
Toney would.
Yeah.
Toney would also take all the penalties. But I don't.
He's more versatile. He's more versatile.
I don't listen. I do not know who is a better penalty taker in the world than Ivan Toney at the moment. If you're asking me,
I do.
Who other guy you want to put forward? Who?
Maitland-Niles.
Brother, it must be getting late.
We did start talking about Ten Hag though, isn't it? Like,
sorry, Ash. What was your question again? What was your question again, Ash? Before you was rudely interrupted.
I'm actually going to go on mute.
No. You know what? It's calm because
about to say this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Obviously, I think Yoms. I already know the answer. Yoms thinks Ten Hag can get you guys top 4, right? With the squad that you're building. I want to know about Ugarte. Is that deal off? Because the guy, I thought you agreed personal terms.
70 million.
So I'm just coming off mute very quickly, yeah. But PSG are dickheads. That's all I'm going to say. PSG want more than they paid a year ago. They want more than they paid a year ago for a player that they didn't play. That make it make sense.
No, but Yums, that's why you guys are so interested, because he's so good that PSG paid big money for him, and now we're trying to sell him. And they're like, they paid 60 million for Euro, who was on the last year of his deal. Ugarte, look at his performances in Copa America. He's world class. You know 70.
You know what Stefan's like? like say he's that friend where when you try to change your life, you stop smoking, you start going out late, you're trying to fix your life. He's that friend that's like, nah, but remember who you was though, bro. You was that guy. You was smoking out here. Don't pretend, bro. You're still that guy. You're just trying to change your life. Look, Man United are changing. Like I hate.
No, he's got a point though. He's got a point.
Because
like, you know what it is? It's like we were both smoking crack yesterday, Tune, and now you're in the church looking down at me. No, your transition has to be smoother than that, bro. It has to be smoother than that. You can't just treat me like that.
They just won't accept it. Look, they've got a whole new board. They've got a whole new structure. Like Ten Hag, I'll speak about Eddie Howe in a minute. Ten Hag's got a whole new assistant, a whole new coaching staff, a whole new structure. Look, I'm not saying these changes are going to bring trophies or whatever. They might not do. But the point is, they have literally Man United have changed. Like you've got to accept it, like Stefan. We're going to keep on talking about, but there's this deal. Would you pay this 18-year-old? Like, mate, they're not paying 300k to Jadon Sancho anymore. They're not doing that stuff anymore. We just got to. The quicker we accept it, the better I think we can.
Okay, wait. Let me.
Top four. You think they get top four?
Well, it's too early to say. I don't give any.
After all of that bit,
he's still got the paraphernalia.
I still got some foil in the pocket in that.
Wait, guys, you're in. No, what we did? Top four now.
I'm hoping Newcastle getting top four. So
hey, that's what I like. Hey,
wait. Let me ask two Inyams. Based on what is happening in the summer, apart from the speed of transfers, how is the way that you're doing business different from the years where you signed in that 1 year where you signed Pogba, Mkhitaryan? How is it different? You're signing overpriced young players.
All right, you've asked me a question and then you're answering it, right? So let me answer, right? Okay. The reason why it's different is because for years after year after year, what United fans see in transfer windows is we identify a target, right? And then we stick with that target until the dying days when we're blatantly either not going to get him or the selling club are running up the price, right? The difference that United have now is you never hear just one option. United are going in, they're making making deals, and they're giving themselves 3 or 4 options and then choosing who they think is the best option at that time. That is just smart business. What happened with Euro was we had to act quickly because this is a young player who, by all counts, all of the top clubs want, right? Real Madrid was just so happening to get him, and in their arrogant way said, you either come now and your club is going to accept a ridiculously low fee, or we'll wait and in 5 months' time you sign a pre-contract with us and come to us next summer. That's how Real Madrid do business because they know all young players want to go there, right? United said, nah, F that. We're going to put pressure on the club. The club in turn puts pressure on the player. The player says, you know what? I'm not going to wait for Real Madrid just in case something happens and they don't come in for me. Again, you can argue about the fee. A fee is never too high or too little until the player has played a couple of years. In 2 years' time, 3 years' time, we could be looking at Euro and saying, do you know what? 60 million, boy. And don't forget, that's 60 million's final fee if he does all of his hard, enhancements, right? If he doesn't, then it's a £40 million fee. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're talking about.
Does Euro start, by the way? Sorry to cut you.
For me, right now, Euro starts. I would have liked to have kept Varane. I know we couldn't because he's on 350k a week. But I would have liked to have kept somebody like Varane so that Euro could learn.
The impact than Calafiori, in your opinion?
Will he have a bigger impact than Calafiori? Was that the question?
Yeah.
It's so difficult. You can't.
What do you mean by Calafiori will have an Arsenal, or if he did go Man U?
So you both bought players.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out who would be the better signing overall. Calafiori.
But Ash, they're gonna play different positions.
I know, but obviously, I'm just saying in hypothetical terms. Obviously,
Calafiori
United. You know, you paid 60 mil. Arsenal paid 38 mil for a player. And I know they play slightly different positions, but I'm saying who would make the bigger impact?
Calafiori is walking into a much better situation, right?
It's not,
and he's more experienced. He's slotting into a system that's already established, right? Whereas Euro slotting is coming in. I think he's going to play. If we get Delict, that'll be interesting because that creates competition for places. But he's walking into a team that is going to be formed. It's almost like United now have a clean slate. Do you get what I'm saying? And now we want to see Ten Hag ball. If we don't see it, he's out, and he knows that. And they've already got his replacement there at the club.
He was really influential. I thought he won 2 trophies, so now it's a clean slate. What's
one
going
more trophies
on?
than Arteta.
It's a clean slate in terms of the style of football.
It's
in terms of the
one more
style of
trophies than
roller coastering expectations and PR. Oh, he's won 2 trophies. He's influential, but now we should judge him.
Okay, so is he? So is winning 2 trophies not influential, Stefan?
No, I cannot deny he has been the most successful coach apart from Pep. But don't give me this PR bullshit, Yums.
Don't give me this shit, man.
No, it's like
Stefan, I do not understand how this is. I don't get it. So United finished 8th last year, right, in the league, right?
Okay.
Behind Newcastle.
Disgusting and smelly, right? Despite him winning an FA Cup, horrendous. Do you want us to stay the same or do you want us to change?
No, what I'm saying is that this,
if we're going to change, it's a clean slate in terms of the style of football that he plays to get us further up the ladder and close the gap.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you see a better style of football, but you don't, because let's be honest, the last 2 years, Man United have barely had any sort of identity in terms of footballing philosophy, like when you watch them, apart from counterattack.
Last season. The season before, I would say
Man United's identity was no identity. That was the identity.
Okay. But next season, if you don't finish top 4, but you do see some sort of identity, is that okay, Yums?
Stefan, with all due respect, and I'm sorry, Chinks, this is just a stray. With all due respect, we're not Arsenal. We're not.
You're not Arsenal. Okay.
We don't choose between the two. You don't choose between playing.
Even though Arsenal have finished last 10 years.
It don't matter. You don't choose between the two. This is why I'm saying United is a different mindset. You have to play good football and you have to win trophies.
You haven't played good football. You haven't played good football in 10 years.
That's Yom's point. Like I don't know what to say.
That's my point. Like, what more do you want me to say? That's my point. That's why we need change. That's why we needed the structure. That's why we needed the different approach in signings, not signing people like Casemiro, who's coming for a pension, signing people like Euro, who's hungry and wants to make their name, Xerxes, Rasmus. These are the type of signings that you want. You want young, hungry people. You don't.
What actually gives you the confidence for Ten Hag, considering
last season,
yeah, and the trophies don't mean nothing.
Changed.
Can I answer that question? Can I just say that? I think because he didn't play the style that he came into asked to play, which was Ajax style football. But what I like about what Ten Hag is doing, and maybe it's controversial to be saying what you like about Ten Hag nowadays, I don't think it should be, is his ability to adapt. Sometimes he adapts too much for people, but he adapts. He's had his assistant coach taken away from him, all the other coaches taken from him, and he's still at the club. And he's still willing to do it. And they're saying to him, look, are you going to play our style of football? You're going to be out the door. I bet you any money Ten Hag is going to play the style of football. Whether it gets the results or not, Ten Hag is going to be playing the ball from out the back. He's going to be doing all the possession style of football, no more transition style of football. And people are going to be saying, "Right, we didn't see this before." But the next argument is going to be like, "Oh, but he's not getting results. He's not getting results. He's playing the style of football." I guarantee you Ten Hag is going to play the style of football. I say this. Like, for instance, Eddie Howe's a different kettle of fish. We just had a whole controversy where we've got a new sporting director, and Eddie Howe isn't overly happy about that. Imagine if his assistant coach was taken away. Imagine if his manager was taken away. He'll be out the door. But Ten Hag, I think if for any coach, for any manager to go from good to great, and I'm not saying he's great, I'm not saying he's Sir Alex Ferguson, but if any manager is going to go from good to great, he's got to be a level of where you're willing to be adaptable, to change, and to do that. So I think you are going to see that.
Do you know what the funny thing is, Toon, right? Arsenal fans go on like as if Arteta walked into the club and they were 8th, and then bang, next season they were 2nd.
We were a
It
shit
took-
show, Yams. What are
He
you
was.
talking about?
No. You didn't listen to what I said. You guys go on like as if he walked in when he walked in when you guys were 8th, and that next season you was just
No, he
second.
walked in when we were 12th.
12th,
All right.
and then next season.
No, because
you was just second.
and this is you see
right?
the
What happens
Arsenal
is-
fans thing here. The
what
only thing
happens-
is why I asked you is because the way what you said there, yeah, was like you finished what did you say you finished 11th or 10th or whatever, yeah.
8th.
Eighth. We finished
And
eighth.
then and it was like a shit show, yeah. But then like the trophies didn't mean shit. Is like, do you get what I mean? That's what I interpreted from what you were saying. So like the fact that he's won 2 FA
No,
Cups.
the trophies mean everything.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Because that's what when Arteta started, the only thing I could latch onto is this guy's got fucking trophies, which gave me the patience and gave me faith in
Let's
him.
not do
So
that, Chinks. You
What do you mean?
pluraled that.
What
You
plural?
You
pluraled
blew
that.
that.
You
Yeah,
pluraled that.
you lot don't equate it to a trophy. You lot don't equate it to a trophy, but I do, innit? I apologize. I apologize.
No, you said trophies.
I apologize. My standards are lesser than yours. The Charity Shield is a trophy for me.
Okay, all right. Say less. Say less. I ain't mad at that.
I apologize.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I hope we do City again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying Ten Hag has 3 trophies.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
going
be
there.
in. I'll be in.
The
agreement.
thing is, though, Chinks, you asked me what.
There's a question there for you, Yoms. Still, question for Yoms. What are we saying if United fans having these very conversation in 4 to 5 years' time? Too much is hope being put on the structure. Structure doesn't mean 100%.
Don't worry, Ash. It's the Glazers. It's the Glazers' fault.
What's his? Look. So I don't know how to pronounce your name. Whoever asked that question, yeah. But here's the. But
That
here's
sounds
the
kind
thing.
of racial. I
And
don't
that-
know if it is.
No. I'm like I don't like to mess up people's names. No, I swear down. I've had 40 years of people messing up my name in it, so I don't like to mess up other people's names.
You ain't that old. Fuck off. Don't.
I swear down. Look at the grades, brother.
No,
Ask
you
Ash,
ain't,
man. I'm
bro.
40, brother.
No,
84,
you're
all
not,
of that.
bro.
Swear
No
down.
way.
But
You're
but
Audi. You got 4 pipes. You're Quattro. There's
brother,
no way.
I'm in the middle of the stairs, bro. I'm in the
No,
middle of
well
the stairs.
done, man. Well done, man. You don't look it, man. Big up. Some
Safe, bro.
wisdom now.
Appreciate it.
Now drop some knowledge now. I can listen to
appreciate
you with.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now I feel under pressure for what I say next. Now I feel like, but
Stefan's not impressed already. Though.
Youth rules.
I am.
Youth rules.
He's like, you're old. I think so you can't remember the stats, bro.
Like, you are kidding me. No, but to answer that question is I don't think we could be having this conversation in 4 or 5 years, because if Ten Hag doesn't do it this year, he's out. Do you get what I'm saying? And another thing
I don't think that's fair, man.
but it just
Can we
is what it
Can we
is.
stop changing the goalpost? First, he's influential. Now it's not fair to actually judge him. Like, what is the standard for Ten Hag this season? What do you expect, Joms? Minimum. Tell me.
Fourth. He says
For
fourth.
me, I expect top 4. He has to get into the top 4, and he has to have a decent cup run.
By decent, what does that mean? Semi-final?
I'm
FA
talking,
Cup?
he has to get to a semi.
Can I hear like your top 4? Who's your top 4?
Yeah, because how are Man you guaranteed top 4?
I'm not saying guaranteed. I'm not saying
I
guaranteed.
don't know that's your minimum.
Nothing's
I want to
guaranteed.
hear what your top 4 looks like. Just off the cuff.
Who's going first? Me?
Yeah. What's your top 4?
City, Arsenal.
Who's going to be third?
I'm going.
Newcastle. I'm going to go.
It's going to be about. I think there's 6 people battling for those last 2
You
places.
don't want to say Spurs. It's okay.
No.
No, it is.
It depends
Yeah,
on what Liverpool does
are
in the
they
transfer
still
window.
viable? Are Liverpool still viable?
I don't think they've lost anyone. I mean, I can't.
They're not, guys. Liverpool are not suddenly shit, but I do think they'll have a down. They're in a transition year, so there's gonna be some bumps on the road for sure.
I think Spurs are a good shout for the top 4. I don't think Villa are necessarily going to get any
No one
worse.
rated Chelsea. Saying Chelsea.
Ash, are you serious? Chelsea, really?
I was
Them
asking questions.
man
I'm a host. I'm asking.
Them men are walking into a changing room right now, and you've got a race war going on, bro. They can't.
Enzo, hey guys, Enzo is gonna walk into the changing room looking around every fucking corner that somebody isn't standing or waiting for him. So
yeah, bro. Because
It's gonna be
if
like-
I'm in that dressing room, I'm putting pepper sauce on his shorts,
it's
bro.
gonna be like the American prison system. You're gonna have all the
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The blood for one side, the clips on the X side.
some serious politicking,
They
bro.
have to look. Chelsea, they won't do it because the owners spend so much money, but they have to get him out of the club. If they want to have a successful season.
Do they though?
Listen, he's £100 million asset. He's £100 million
I don't
asset.
think so, man. I think it'll blow over.
In terms of, if you want, yeah, but Chinks, half of the squad hate him.
But
so half of them is
also,
shit.
Mariska hasn't.
That's true. That's true.
Mariska hasn't helped. That hasn't helped. Right?
I'll trade all of them for a good Enzo. Fuck them.
Because Mariska
wait.
came out standing strong on Enzo's side.
2024 has been a strong year for them, and they will finish on a form table. Third or fourth, I can't remember.
Yeah, but it wasn't Ash. It wasn't because of Enzo. He was, I would argue, their worst player that year.
Yeah,
He's been the biggest.
Just won the Copa America, just to say it. Just saying.
He was shit in the Copa America. What are you guys talking about?
In terms of other players that could step in, they don't have to have Enzo in that position.
No, they don't. Who did they sign from Leicester? That was actually a good transfer. Yeah, that was actually good.
Sorry, I don't know about, like, Enzo gets shitted on a lot. I think that guy is a bloody baller, bruv. Like, you don't win.
Why?
He won the World Cup. He won the World Cup and the Copa America back to back, yeah. And he's, whether we like him or not, he's starting games there.
Lo Celso won the Copa America back to back.
No, but Lo Celso ain't starting.
Disrespect.
Lo Celso ain't going in there and starting games.
Yeah, he was.
No,
for the reason why Enzo made his name is because Lo Celso got injured for the World Cup, and they had to play Enzo in his position.
And then Enzo came into the position and won the World Cup. So how can we say he's a bad player? I don't understand. You do not.
This also turns up for Argentina, but for Spurs, sometimes he's just injured.
He's always injured. He's always injured for Spurs and always fit for Argentina.
I like him. I like this also, but he's just availability. He's just hasn't been there. And then when he was available, Ange didn't fancy him, which is annoying. So it's like
he was singing quite loudly on that bus as well, though. So maybe it's not don't like playing on Bissell.
You know what?
Anymore or something.
This is guys.
Son.
We know who the racial instigator is, though, don't we?
Yeah, this is the only thing that's actually pissed me off. Enzo has got all the heat for the singing, and rightfully so. Yeah. He videoed his teammates that were singing along. They haven't got any heat.
What I'm hearing, I don't know.
Sandro, all I know is Martinez wasn't there in it. Yeah.
What I heard that they were singing in that period, they were singing two songs. So the first one was fine, but I think the last 10 seconds was the song that was the racial song. So I don't know if you can see which ones.
No, you're right. The first one was slightly racist. The second one was
That's hilarious. That's crazy.
No, but then this is what I mean. He goes to a River Plate. I think they were celebrating his number, I think, whilst he played a River Plate, and they start singing that fucking song in the crowd. Who is his agent? He's an idiot for allowing him to go into like.
But look,
absolutely.
People forget, like, we're gonna get all put. People outside of the Western world don't see things the way you guys see things. Like, honestly, like, they don't think you're the bee's knees. Like, they're not really overly there to impress what people in Europe think about what they do. Like, I'm telling you. So,
I'm not blaming the people in the crowd. I'm blaming Enzo's agent for allowing him to get
into
that situation.
He doesn't care.
But he can do what he wants to do.
He doesn't care what they think in England.
Yeah.
All I know is it's going to cause huge problems for Chelsea, because now they've got £100 million asset who the rest of the team don't like, and the
except for one guy, Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson is the only one that came out defending him. That's it.
Yeah, but everybody didn't he get unfollowed by nine players, right? And in this day and age,
that's just PR.
But unfollowing in this day and age is the equivalent of ripping up a picture back in the day. Do you get what I'm saying? They've got his picture and they've ripped his head off it. Do you know
that's
that's
voodoo,
what an
man.
unfollow is. Like.
That's voodoo, man.
It's just, guys. I'm really shocked. I'm just really shocked. Who would have guessed Chelsea would have been related to a racist incident? That never happens with them.
You know what? Just to break the ice a bit here, yeah. Let me just say, you lot don't forget that Maguire is heavily slept on. I just want to say
that. He is. He's underrated. I'm telling you.
We can never be racist.
That was a curveball, bro. I did not see that one.
Steph said it earlier. Sorry.
And it's not like Arsenal didn't have a. It's not like Arsenal didn't have a few players on court cases. I'm just saying. Right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. I know.
Let's just go with it.
Wait,
let's move.
I know who he's talking about. No charges were ever filed.
Oh, no charges now, yeah. All right, we're playing that game.
Who is that party?
What do you mean playing that game? Okay.
That's crazy. Did a man say I want to party hard? That's crazy. That is an amazing. That's elite. That's my type of humor right there. That is elite. Only someone who sponsors a gambling addict would come up with something like that. That's amazing.
Ash, can we please talk about Chelsea's so-called transfers? Because I think
I wanted to compare it to what Spurs have done, because obviously Chelsea have done the youth project, and so have Spurs done the youth project. I
wouldn't call it a youth project, more like nursery project. But yeah.
So, like, would you? All right, I'll stay with you, Steph. Then, what do you think, in your opinion? Like, you're seeing Chelsea buy up young boys. Pause. You're seeing Spurs do the same.
That's not dodgy, man.
That's so dodgy.
Gang, my gang. So, like, is that really sustainable? Not sustainable. Is it really something you think? No. Okay, it's serious. Like, what's your thoughts on it? Like, what do you think?
I just want to say, God bless Todd Bowley. He's destroyed a football club in the space of 3 years, and the culture that Chelsea had. I love it. No club deserves this more than Chelsea. I've always Spurs. I've always despised them, based on the rivalry. But I've always just had I just hated Chelsea ever since everything about them. So I just think everything they're doing, going to your question, is a complete disaster. I've told you this. Todd Bowley is like that skit I forgot on some British show that they make fun of American owners, what they would do to come in. You know what he's like? He's like Ted Lasso. He has no idea. He thinks he can come into the club and apply the American.
Is that the Wrexham guy? Is that Wrexham?
What he is doing at Chelsea is he's following the LA Dodgers model that he does, which is the baseball one, which is simple talent accumulation. Sign them from, let's say, poorer countries like the Dominican Republic in baseball, like Cuba. Send them on loan. No. Yeah, that's what they do. Send them on loan, and then one of those 15, 20 players that you sign.
You mean Belgium?
Will be a star.
Belgium and Spain.
Or okay. I'm saying that no.
Why is Dominican Republic catching strays here? Like,
no. I'm talking about baseball. I'm talking about how they actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about baseball, but in football wise, they're focusing a lot on the South American market, especially Brazil. So he thinks he's gonna sign players like, I'm reading Gabriel Mack now. He's 16. Estevao, who looks really good actually, but all the others, people forget David Washington, Andre Santos. They were all signed for 15, 20 million. That's accumulating now. And the thing that I don't understand is Todd Bowley is a hedge fund guy. He has investors. He's plowed in so much money into the club. They're making massive losses. Aren't his investors going to want some sort of return at some point? Because the club is
Stefan, you can't complain when people don't buy young players, and then complain when people do buy young players.
No, but you're right, Yums. But in this case, it's so extreme, bro. They've got 41 players,
but
45 including goalkeepers.
But Yums, they're not buying young players. They're talent. It's baseball, because I watch baseball and stuff, and I have like a certain understanding of how they do things. They don't sign players with a vision, Yums, in terms of, okay, we're going to sign this young player at 16, and he's going to have a pathway to the first team in 3 to 4 years, and he'll be our center mid, and he'll be our potentially our left back. No, what they do is we're going to sign 30 players, and out of those 30 players, maybe 5 make it, and then another maybe 7 or 8 we sell, which is how they do it in baseball. And so that is what he's trying to do in the market. The other thing that he's done, which I think is suicide in football, is the fact that he's also copied baseball and giving them ridiculous long-term contracts, giving them 7 to 8 years, which is now being stopped, like in baseball, where I don't know if you guys see the highest paid players in the world are baseball players because they're on 10 to 12-year contracts, which he's trying to do with Chelsea. So that's why the contract it's a complete shit show.
They put a stop to that, though, haven't they? They've made it 5 years now. So
they made it 5 years, but he tried to implement that earlier until he was stopped.
He's still there.
No, they didn't know. Lukaku's still there.
Why is he lost and why is he hiding like that?
No, because they know they're getting.
Look at this, Angelo Gabriel. They paid, I think, what was it 12-13 million for him. Mark Guiu from Barcelona, they paid, I think he had a 6 million release clause. David Washington, like David Fofana was, I think, 15 million from what I remember. Like, it's just they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. No idea. And now after signing 2 goalkeepers and saying Robert Sanchez is our guy last year, now they're trying to sign another goalkeeper and going to sell Petrovic, who was by far better than Robert Sanchez last year. They have no idea what they're doing.
Would it be fair to say then that Spurs' project looks a little bit more sensible than what Chelsea did?
For sure.
1,000%.
Are you asking me?
I lost everyone.
Because I don't see how, like, his goal, like, it's actually impossible for him to get all of these players in the team, like even around the squad. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to understand and comprehend how he's going to make this work. Because if it doesn't, this could be like a bankrupt job. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, but guys,
I think it's probably two-way. Obviously, part of it is to do with the competition. So he's just throwing them all in there and saying the best will rise to the top, and those that don't rise to the top will sell them on, which they have been doing relatively successfully. Remember, he can still say that these 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old guys are homegrown talents, and so he can still sell them and still make money off that. In comparison to Tottenham, where you guys make at least £4 million per...
Sorry to cut you, because I just want to ask you, because I don't understand that bit as well, So if they're classed as homegrown, what you spent on them don't matter?
No, it's not like them. Yeah, sorry, go on.
It's just quotas, isn't it?
I just want to point out, they're not classed as homegrown until they train fully at the club for at least 3 years too. Don't
so under 21s don't count towards any quota.
3 years, okay.
So they don't count towards your home.
Oh, so it's free.
They also until they train for 3 years.
Yeah.
And they also don't count towards your
squad list.
Your squad.
Yeah.
Quota for British players.
If anybody has played Football Manager, if anybody has played Football Manager, play it. So then if anybody is under 21, you don't need to register them, but they're not considered homegrown unless they have trained 3 years, 3 full years at your club. That's when they're considered homegrown,
So
and they have
a lot of clubs are going for younger and younger players.
Yeah,
because they don't count.
That's the place where like Tottenham have got a new signing. A Korean called spit on that thing. Sorry, no.
Yo,
Oh my
crazy.
That sounds
Crazy. Pause.
Another version of
sorry about that, dude.
What's going on?
Sorry about that, dude. Finish your point, dude. I interrupted you to lead up to that fuckery. Sorry, dude. That's crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think when people say, I understand where Stefan's coming from, they don't know what they're doing. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
But it's just that positive about everything.
I think because we haven't seen it before, we're saying they don't know what they're doing. I think they know it's whether it will work or how is it going to work that people don't know.
It's never worked. This strategy has never.
He's got a point. Look at Spurs when they spent the Bell money. The more players you chuck in, it don't work.
No,
Bad
Spurs
recruitment.
even, but
Bad
but
recruitment.
Chinks, even what
But-
Spurs did had some sort of strategy because they were still signing players that were
Yeah,
that
so
had played in the leagues.
Chelsea done, they've accelerated the process. Don't forget, it has been done in a slightly more phased approach from Man City. So Man City have over the last 10 years have gained 400 million from under 21 player sales alone.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
so I think Chelsea just accelerated that. I remember they still had Cobham.
But-
So for instance, they're making money that way. Unlike Tottenham, I was going to finish off and say Tottenham made £4 million per home game from their stadium and what they've done. So they do things slightly different in terms of how they make money. I don't know if you've seen Chelsea Stadium at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
It's not making £4 million per game.
Trash. Yeah, it's
So
trash.
that's how they're making their money. So don't kick a guy when he's down, like that's
No,
just
but what about on the pitch though? It don't
it's
translate
suffering.
on the
It is
pitch.
suffering. It is suffering on the
Yeah.
pitch. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We say it's suffering, but Chelsea ended really strong
That's what I
last
said.
year.
And then they sacked their coach, and their coach left.
yeah,
They're
which
going
was
for more
ridiculous.
possession-based style, more like in line with other teams in terms of like.
No, no, that wasn't the reason. The reason was that Poch told them, fuck off, stop signing 12-year-olds from Peru. I want to sign some real
But I'm
players.
just saying, as a conspiracy theory, maybe they did that on purpose to edge him out because maybe they thought, or possession-based. Looking at Arteta, looking at Pep. You know what I'm saying? They got an ex-City assistant manager. Maybe we should do that. Barcelona, Bayern Munich did the same with Fathead. What's his name? Megamind over at
Company.
Company.
The brain.
No, his name's Megamind, bro.
Actually, on fire today, bro.
fucking hell.
You know, it's like it's Harley brothers merged together. You know?
No, but guys, I really think like I did a really deep dive on Todd
He doesn't
Bowley.
care, does he?
Just reading about him as a pure how he made his money. It's really important to me, like to see because that
What? Is he your owner?
but that influence is also how he runs clubs. If you read about Todd Bowley, especially how he made his money, which is investing mainly in tech, he was a pioneer and kind of a trendsetter. So he always went into markets and went into investments, trying to start a new trend, he was always kind of out of the box. And that is exactly, if you look at Chelsea, what they're doing, and not only that, super risky. He made massive gains on some investments and made massive losses because of that strategy. And at Chelsea, he's doing the exact same thing because he thought, okay, I was successful at the LA Dodgers doing that. Now I'm going to try it at Chelsea. It's never been done in football. Chelsea did do it 10, 15 years ago under Roman Abramovich, when they had over 40 players on loan. That was banned, and Chelsea had a far better academy. But let me ask you this, guys. How is the strategy coherent when in order to make it sustainable, you have to sell your academy players? They have pretty much
Stefan, lots of teams are selling academy.
No, but
players
wait,
now.
but they're selling the players that are part of the fabric of the club. And Trevor Chalobah, that what they have done is literally they have that. Thiago Silva was their best defender. He's gone. Trevor Chalobah, in my opinion, was easily their best defender.
But Chalobah is
in the
also
last 6 months.
100%. He's also 100% pure profit, and that's gold. That's gold dust to clubs.
So okay.
If you're gonna go to the manager, which
But he's their best defender.
Yeah, but he's the best defender. He's the best defender to us. I actually agree with you, right? But he can't be that good because there's no scramble for him, right?
He's better than Buddy Ashile.
But there's no scramble for him,
man.
Stefan. There's no scramble for him. You don't have all the top clubs in the Premier League saying, "Shit, we better get Chalobah." B, if you go to the manager and you say to the manager, "Is this guy going to be in your top 3 centre backs this season?" and that manager says, "Nah, he's not," and you've got an opportunity to make profit, then you sell. That's what I mean.
I want to move the question over because we haven't got a lot of time left. I just want to move it on real quick. And I want a Chelsea fan here as well. I don't want to waste this great conversation we're having. A Chelsea fan was meant to be here, but you know how it goes.
Past his bedtime. Past his bedtime, man.
But I want to talk about Liverpool real quick because there's not really much happening in the transfer window like that. I want to speak about Liverpool. I don't know where Preach is because Preach is going to come.
Where is Preach? Where is Preach?
Oh, no, I can't see him. I'm going to have to brush him when we get in a group. But anyway, we move. I want to talk about what your thoughts are, Chris, on Kubo, because obviously he plays in La Liga. Don't know if you've seen much of him. Do you think he is a floor raiser for Liverpool? Like Salah's been rumored to maybe leave next season. I think he will leave next season. Where do you see Kubo for Liverpool? Is he the Japanese Messi, as Preach called him? Or is he someone that's like, meh, but kind of suits slot system? Like, what's your take on him? I mean,
yeah, Japanese Messi is a bit far-fetched, but I understand. He was at Barca, then he wanted €1 million to renew his contract, and we said no way. So he went to Madrid, and then he's been loaned out to Mallorca. Did great at Mallorca. He's been doing very well at Real Sociedad. So I mean, to put him up there with Salah, seeing as what Salah's done, is tall order as well. But can he do it? I mean, technically he's very good. He's nippy. He's hardworking, like typical kind of Japanese workers are. They're very disciplined. These kind of players.
Stereotype.
And I mean, if Liverpool sign him, what's that?
Stereotype.
We're talking about Enzo again. What's going on?
And I think that if Liverpool sign, I don't know if they have signed him or not. I'm not sure, but if they're looking to sign him, okay, then I think that he'd be very valuable to them. Definitely, yeah. I mean, I don't see why not.
Would you take him at Spurs?
Well, we rumored to have been offered 43 million.
He used to play for Ange, funny enough, at Yokohama.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ange knows him.
I'd take him. Why not? I mean, as I said, the characteristics that I said before. Why wouldn't you want that kind of player in your team? He's disciplined. He's hardworking. He's nippy with the feet. He scores goals. He can assist. The only thing that I didn't like about him was the demand on the wage, and like you're 16, mate, or 17, like or whatever it was, like a young guy, 18 max, wanting €1 million a month, like a year. What come on,
but
you're not that special.
Yeah, but is he physically big enough for the Premier League? Because I've seen him. He's
Diogo Jota is not exactly 6'10", is he?
Yeah, but
good enough. You're big enough.
Yeah, but Jota is his legs. He's got massive legs. Like he's got power. Jota.
I haven't measured Take Kubo's legs, man, to know if he's going to be. Come on, I mean seriously.
I think the point he's making is La Liga is technically sound, but I mean, we've suffered Brian Hill. We suffered Brian Hill.
So we're more physical. We're physical,
and then he came to the Prem and he just got blown over by the wind. So it's like, but to caveat that again, I think with Kubo. Because it's not always about strength. I think it's about balance as well. And I think with Kubo, he has got great balance and good feet, and he's got quick feet. That's what makes him technical. So I think he can work in the Premiership, in my opinion. But whether he is the level for Liverpool, I'm not too sure. I think he's more a slot type of player than he is a Klopp type of player.
Yeah.
Possibly.
No, that's true. I actually think the other Real Sociedad winger is far better, and I think Liverpool should sign him. Mikel Oyarzabal, he's really good.
Oyarzabal, yeah.
He's really good, and I think he's much better than Kubo, in my opinion.
Maybe that's the reason why they're looking to let him go, offload him, and I think it's rumored that it was €60 million that they're looking to offload him for.
Let's see. I mean, Liverpool have been super quiet. I've been really surprised. They literally have not been linked to anybody. Like I haven't seen one.
But Liverpool, that's how they move. That's how they move. I've got to give it to Liverpool. You don't hear about their business until it's done.
Yeah. That's true.
I respect that because it means that you don't get clubs swooping in trying to hijack deals.
No,
do you get what I'm saying? You don't get.
You guys are totally right. Like last season, Wataru Endo, I was like, fuck, Arsenal should have signed him. Damn it.
Chelsea took off of them, and they were in for Lavia. They took them as well. So after that, they were moving a bit nervous. They said, "Listen, we might have to do some things deep undercover, deep undercover." Like,
no, but they still pay though. Like they paid Szoboszlai's release clause. They were gonna pay 110 million for Caicedo. They were gonna pay 50 million for Lavia. So if they have to put the money on, they do, Liverpool. But I just think they really need to upgrade. They not upgrade their defense, but refresh their defense. I think they need potentially one left back at least, maybe even two, because I just think I think Robertson has really gone down a level the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, mate. He's
and I just think Tsimikas is like a Greek Bellerin. He's not good enough. and then right back, I really like Bradley. I think they're okay at right back, but center back they need to sign another center back. Van Dijk is getting old.
So what does everyone think that Liverpool drop out of top four? Is that what everyone's saying, or is it from?
I think at risk. I would say that they're at risk. It depends. You never know. Slot might come in and it might just work. Look, if you have a season,
never happened before.
If you have a season of Konate and Van Dijk being fit, bloody hell, that's a strong. Yeah.
So sorry to cut you off. Breaking news: Emile Smith Rowe to Fulham. Ornstein just tweeted £35 million.
Bloody hell!
Good
That
money.
means we're not.
Good
means
money.
they're not. That means Fulham are not buying Scott McTominay.
That means you can go for.
Be happy. Another season of McSauce. I cannot wait. It's gonna be great.
You might can go for Williams now. I've got the extra P.
I don't think we're gonna. Let's see.
I don't. No, 35 million.
Dude, he's gonna go to Barcelona. He wants to go to Barcelona. If Barcelona want a guy, they usually get him. Chris can tell you this.
Who's going to Barcelona?
Nico's
going this summer or next summer. That's basically the latest out of Barcelona. He's agreed on a deal, and he only has to say if he's going this season or next season. But it's done.
Oh, that's not a bad shout.
A big club will still try. Euro. Just saying.
Yeah, guys. Funny about Yoro, Yoms, is that, for example, Steph and not just Steph, maybe a lot of people, especially in Madrid, think that they've overpaid for Yoro being on the last. But then you talk about Smith Rowe going to 35 million for Fulham. If that's not overpriced and overpaid, that's just ridiculous, though, isn't it? I mean,
Chris, I love it.
I think he's a good player.
He's English, man.
They should have paid more. What are you guys on about?
They should have paid more. Yeah, so Yoro should have been 140 at least.
No, I would not have paid 35 million for a player that hasn't. I read this shocking stat. I love Smith Rowe as a talent, as a player, but I'm sorry, if you're made of glass, you have to be available. But he hasn't scored a goal since 2021. I read the stat today.
That's not true, man.
That can't be true, bro.
No, he hasn't scored a Premier League goal since 2021. Okay. I don't know if that's true. I need to double check that. But
all I'm saying is, if his name, if his badge was United, and his name was Rasmus Hojlund, we would all know that stat. We would all know that stat. I'm just saying. If his name was Bruno Fernandes, we would all know that stat.
Stop with this, Man United.
It's true.
We're always targeted. Oh, everybody's after.
We are. But it's cool. We don't need your love, bro.
The victims of the league, yeah.
Yeah. Poor Man United. Everybody.
No. Don't let Steph get away for this. We know you got 35 million now. Can you please go and bid for Nico Williams? Can you go
I would love it to. But he's going to Barcelona. He's going to Barcelona.
Euro was going to Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's true.
Newcastle don't care and still compete with Bayern Munich and say, here's 60 million. Say what now?
But
why can't Arsenal?
You lost
compete.
Out.
We bid. What did you mean compete? We
done.
Bid.
He still went to Bayern.
You didn't do it. So what?
You still got to try.
Exactly.
Still got to try.
Exactly.
Do you though? But what if you put the feelers out behind the scenes and you're getting told?
We
So
have
that's what happened.
supposedly we
That's what
have.
happened. It's what happened with
You haven't done
Raphinha.
anything.
It's
You
the
haven't
same
put out
thing
no
with
feelers
Raphinha.
out.
Sometimes you get a Hail Mary. Sometimes you get a Hail Mary pass, bro.
Exactly.
You just got to try.
You got to show them who you
Is
are.
it worth it though? Because is it worth unsettling? Like, remember Liverpool when what's his name?
Unsettling, you know.
Rafa Benitez talking about he wants Gareth Barry, and Zabi Alonso was thinking, oh, he fucking disrespecting me.
So
Yeah,
what?
no, that was wild.
So what? You're Arsenal. People
I just,
They should be people should be feeling privileged to be playing for your team. And that's for any team. If you know Saka's doing well now, I'm gonna be careful with Saka. Okay, if Martinelli, if Martinelli is just thinking, oh, I can just walk into this squad. There's no competition. They're never gonna buy anybody because they're too scared to bid. They're too scared of rejection. Barcelona in it, like Barcelona.
You know what? Can I ask you? I'm going to ask you
Barcelona.
something, yeah, and I want you to answer me genuinely, yeah, and be honest,
Yes,
because
sir.
as much as I like to think I can be right, I can think I can be wrong in it.
Uh-oh.
So like,
Chinks, you're so humble, Chinks.
no, I'm trying to be honest, yeah, because everything you lot are saying to me is completely sensible and it makes sense and all of that. But my faith in Arteta is so through the roof that I just genuinely think that he knows best than what you're saying. Yeah,
to Arsenal fans are like Trump to Trump fans, bro.
No, but I just want but this is what I'm asking you.
MAGA.
This is why I'm asking you this, because everything you're saying is
What's the question?
no, but everything you're saying is viable. But for some reason, my belief in Arteta is so strong that I'm disregarding everything you're saying. So am I incorrect for following Arteta like so strongly?
So what you're saying is basically if Arteta don't want to bid, then you're fine with no bid.
Yeah, and am I an idiot for that? Basically,
yeah. I wasn't telling the answer to you. Are you an idiot? By the way,
is that Nico Williams would be a number one priority, but for Barcelona. And if that's the case, I'm working off that case. If that is the case, then you guys are shook, and you guys don't deserve to be called a big club. You are Arsenal. Don't put the 60 million up and say, Barcelona, what are you going to do now? Nico Williams, what are you going to do that? If Nico Williams says no, he misses out on the ticket to go to Arsenal. That's his problem.
To go to Barcelona.
You guys keep on shifting the goalposts from saying, we don't have money. Now you got 35 million extra, so we know you got money. Then you're saying, oh, but it's Barcelona. So Barcelona are broke.
I know, forget that too. Raphinha is now looking like, I'm saying he's looking like he's a number 2 or 3.
He's not going anywhere, Ash. He's on 400k a week.
Whoa, calm down.
Oof.
Calm down.
I read
he could be out the door next week.
I don't know. It's like Barcelona ain't really got bread like that anymore.
Might as well go to Villa. Because at least Villa are doing something.
No, but wait, they have been trying to sell. No, but Ash, you're right. But they have been trying to sell Frankie De Jong for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
No, they've not. They've been trying to keep Frankie De Jong. We've been trying to buy Frankie De Jong for 2 years.
No, you know what it is. Apparently, remember his wages. Remember, do you remember that wages thing? Apparently, they owed him money or some shit like that. I remember.
Yeah, that was all nonsense. That was all nonsense.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't nonsense.
All of it's nonsense. Frankie De Jong was wanted by United for 2 seasons
and he didn't want to
straight.
go.
No, it's not about he didn't want to go. He wasn't, like Chink said, he had the wages thing. He wasn't going to lose out on the wages. And obviously, Barca didn't want to sell him. If Barca wanted to get rid of Frankie De Jong, they would have sold him.
They agreed. They agreed a deal, Yoms. They agreed a 70, I think it was 70 million euros or 75.
Yeah.
And then
he would have forgone a stupid amount
of
money, like 80 million or something like that.
Yeah, that was the sticking point where he wanted his deferred wages, and he also wasn't sure about leaving Barca. And Barca told him, no, you make the move, and we're not gonna pay you the rest of your wages. And he said, you know what? Screw you guys, I'm gonna stay. So
they've not been trying to. I don't think they've been trying to sell him in a way clubs try and sell players. I think they've been, because it's not like as if he's not been playing games, right? Frankie De Jong plays games. Do you see what I mean? So, like, yeah, he's not. I don't buy this idea that Barcelona can't get
They
players
did,
out the door.
but when you guys were chasing,
So hold on, did
you guys were-
Maguire? Did
when
Man
you-
U try and get rid of Maguire?
They did, yeah. They did the same thing. with
Yes,
Maguire.
we did.
when you guys were chasing him, I think he was refusing to go because they started playing him at centre back and started doing all those type of things to him, to De Jong. Like there was a period of time when Barcelona were really trying to sell De Jong because they didn't want to pay his deferred wages.
No, but he's on crazy wages, right, Chris? He's on like, I read
36 million euros a year. That's gross.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's from the deferred wages, though, isn't
That
it?
is gross.
That's the
Fucking hell.
No, it is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's disgusting.
Just to say
Well,
that Reece James was just on the giving a news conference saying that let's just move on from the Enzo situation. He's already apologized. Let's move on from it. So
Yeah,
Mr.
Reece,
Fernandez is staying.
No, and then if you guys didn't know, right after he got up from the press conference, he got injured again. So yeah.
So I was asking, right? Would anyone on this panel take Raphinha? I personally would. I'll put my hand up first, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? I mean, minus the wages, because everyone's like being an accountant nowadays, and but how much it costs? Like it's my money. You can't spend it now. Would you take Raphinha? Sorry,
Raphinha 2 or 3 years ago, yes. I think ever since he's been at Barca, he hasn't been at the same level as he was at Leeds. I don't know. Chris can.
That's not true. Couldn't sign Bergvall. That's not true. But anyway, what were we saying, Steph? Sorry.
About Raphinha, has he reached the levels that he was at Leeds? I don't think so. Right? He hasn't kind of met.
You can't compare style. You can't compare leagues. You can't compare competitions. He's been double figures, I think, for the last 2 seasons. Right.
Okay. So
I think, and
10 GA.
he hasn't been. Sorry.
Yeah, 10 out of 37 games, 10 goals last year out of 37 goals, 10 goals out of 50 games.
How many minutes
before that?
You know how many minutes he's played as well. That might be a factor.
Has he always been? Chris,
yeah, he's always been. He's more often than not always been in the starting 11 on the right wing. But Lamine Yamal came in, right, and then he started playing number 10, like or behind or even on the left wing, and even played in midfield at some point through injuries or through whatever reason. But Lamine Yamal has been an explosion, right? That I suppose only people at Barcelona were expecting, so to speak. But that has been detrimental for Raphinha. So Raphinha is on important wages, plus there are offers coming in supposedly for 60 million euros, which would satisfy the club, which means that Nico Williams will be done the next day, right? Because you'd get that money and, but I think that Raphinha is more than decent player. I mean, more than decent, whether he fits my style or my liking personally, it's got nothing to do with football. It has to be with how he fits in the club's style of play. He would be good at Arsenal. I can see him playing at Arsenal. I can see him playing at Man United. I can see him playing even at Newcastle, for example. Why not? I mean, Newcastle get good players. They get important players as well. So I mean, I can see him playing in the Premier League. No worries.
Chris,
I mean, we got Anthony, so I can see anyone playing that.
No, and he's been on a list. I don't know if you can confirm that, Yoms, or not, or anyone. But I heard today I read that Anthony, someone else, and 5 other players have been put on the transfer list at Man United. I don't know whether that's true or not.
The only people that are safe at United
are Dutch players.
Banana.
Banana because he plays for Villa.
The only people that are safe at United is Banana, Martinez,
and the Glazers.
Kobe Mainu,
Rasmus
Hojlund.
What about Bruno?
Bruno.
I don't know about Bruno. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm reading Bruno is throwing his toys out the pram a little bit. He wants the same wages or higher than Marcus Rashford.
He deserves it.
I agree. I agree.
He deserves it. I fully agree with him. If I'm Bruno, I've got 2 years left on my contract and I'm renegotiating. I'm not taking a lesser wage than
Sancho or Rashford.
Than Sancho.
Oh, Sancho was the other one. Sancho.
No way. Do you see what I mean? So I agree with Bruno. He has every right to say this is what I want. Obviously, the club's new structure, they're trying to get the wages down, but that sounds like a you problem.
How much is Bruno on again? Sorry,
I think 200 and
I
something.
think he's on 200.
Yeah, 200.
200
I think I read 220, 230K a week.
and how much does he want? How much?
Okay, he
How
can.
much does he want? 300 or something.
Who? Sancho? Sancho's on 350.
No. What does he want? What does Bruno? What's he?
Bruno
He
wants
wants to
north
be
of
the
300.
highest.
But the thing is, this new board that United have, which I also agree with, is they're saying, all right, cool. Like, you do one more year with us then, and then we'll shot you next year. Like, we're not going to be held ransom. So
I don't know.
I understand I understand the stalemate, and I understand why the club are saying, well, next year you can leave, give us one more year, and then we'll let him go. But we're not going to be paying. We're not going to be because every player is replaceable.
No,
Every single player
honestly,
in any football club is replaceable. So,
honestly, I agree with you on that. There's no irreplaceable player, but I honestly think Bruno, if Man United sell Bruno, like the amount of games this guy saved you, and he really led your team. Like,
agreed, but you've got a year. We're not selling Bruno this transfer window, right? You've got a year between now and next summer to find Bruno's replacement.
I think it's a bigger problem at United, and I think it's in the midfield. And I think Kobe needs help, and he's screaming, "Help me, please!"
Don't worry, Ash.
Agreed.
Don't
worry, Ash. Some amazing player from the Dutch league will be signed, and then for Bruno's replacement, the best player.
By the way, we're looking at two players, and neither of them are from the Dutch league. We're looking at Fofana and we're looking at Ugarte for that help.
Zubimendi as well, isn't it? Zubimendi as well.
Yeah, and Zubimendi as well.
So nobody's signing Zubimendi. He's staying at.
How do you know that?
Because he said it.
Trust me, he knows too.
He said it
He knows.
Okay.
No, but he said it.
Tell me a time he's been wrong with his in the know stuff.
It's true.
It's
true.
First of all, I'm never wrong.
Exactly. And Steph, we'll see in 2 years about what's his name as well. So
quickly before I dash here, can I ask Stefan something? Stefan, you watched the Euros, yeah?
Yeah.
What did you make of the Rice Mano partnership? And who do you think kind of shone in that midfield?
Oh,
I thought.
I think Rice, man.
I thought I didn't think Rice played particularly well. I didn't think he was terrible. I didn't think he was great. I thought Manu was very good in the first few games he started, but I thought he was really, really poor in the final. I honestly thought Manu played better than Rice overall, but I really think Rice's job for England in that game was because Manu doesn't track. Look, I really like Manu as a player, but off the ball, he really needs work, Yums. He really doesn't track back, and I just thought Rice was really like trying to do two people's jobs in the midfield, especially when it comes to defensive. So that's why I think he struggled. But on the ball, I think, and I've said it in the group, he has a clear attribute that he needs to improve, and that's his passing. And it was obvious that as a passer through the lines, someone like Rodri or a Partey, that's why Partey, when Partey plays at 6 and he plays at 8, because Partey is a better passer. That's what
Stefan, I agree with you. I think Rice is not a 6.
Wharton could have done a job there.
Wharton could have done a job. I think Rice is not a 6. I think Rice is better in the 8. I think
he needs a 6 defending, but like in terms of asking him to progress the ball, then I think
he can do a job. He can do a job, but I don't think he's best in the 6.
Guys,
I think he's probably
if Arsenal put Wharton and them two swapped and rotated, I think that could work.
Okay, guys, at one point, can you guys give him a little bit of a break though? He was playing with fucking Trent, and then he played with Conor Gallagher. Like, give him a little bit of a break.
No, you do not give Rasmus. You do not give Rasmus a break.
Got him.
So no.
Yeah,
Rasmus, play next to Anthony.
He's 105 million. He's £105 million player. Who's getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. I'm not giving him a break.
And he was still solid. He wasn't terrible.
No, you weren't talking. You didn't say that solid stuff earlier.
It's great to replace Rice here. England set up. What?
Without Rice, England falls apart. Ethan has said it.
Defensively, without Rice, defensively, England, especially on the transitions, because Manu That is his biggest weakness. Positionally, he's not very good.
You know what it is? I heard someone say
it's all very easy to say this when we're playing against frigging who did we even play?
Slovakia,
Slovenia,
Switzerland.
Slovakia.
Rice is really holding us up. Of course, he's holding us up. He's holding us up against Slovakia.
Yeah, but then you can't praise Mainu for the same games. Then is
you're putting a team that actually knows what they're doing and. Like,
watch when he plays against Barkley.
Okay. So why don't you make that same argument for Rice that you're giving as the reason for Mainu then? So you put in Mainu in a team that knows what they're doing, but with Rice, he has.
Listen, when we was choosing our England 11 on this show, I said I don't think Mainu's ready. I don't hold that same expectation for Mainu. Do you get what I'm saying? This guy's played 40 senior games in his entire career, club and country. And he's how old? Like he's just finished his A-levels or some shit. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like I give him a little bit of grace because he's way like nobody saw that coming from Mainu. Whereas Rice, what I hear about Rice is like he's the second coming of Christ. Sometimes I'm like I have to tweak my headphones. Did I hear Rice or Christ? I don't know which one I heard. Do you get what I'm saying?
God.
Like
nobody.
Yeah, but we don't say that though, man.
Hyped up the guy. No. First of all, the guy that was hyped the most in that Euros, okay, was Cole Palmer.
Foden.
Everybody was saying how Cole Palmer needs to play, and this time he was far more hyped than Mainu or Rice or any other player on the England team. And I would make the argument that Rice overall in the tournament was better than Jude Bellingham, was better than Harry Kane, was better than Phil Foden. Was better than all these players because Jude Bellingham in the latter stages, especially after the group stages, was not good.
He done that overhead kick and checked out. I'll give you that. I don't think
he played on the left.
I don't think it was very difficult to play better than Harry Kane in this tournament. I don't think that was very difficult. Getting a 4 out of 10 is still a 4 out of 10, even if Harry Kane was a 3 out of 10.
Okay, Foden. Foden.
So, but what's the argument though? Because there's no way we're not saying Mainu's anywhere near as good as Rice, are we saying?
I was just asking. No, the reason I was asking is because I think that Rice is one of these players who is decent, but is like superbly overrated.
Spicy Hojlund.
Overrated?
In terms of what though? So what? In terms of what? In terms of what though?
In terms of. And I'll use this term broadly again, right? Arsenal fans. The way I hear Arsenal fans talk about Rice, honestly, like it's ridiculous.
Your fans.
Well, when you say, but you remember Arsenal. No, but hold on.
Generational.
Hold on, Steph, because I think this is where the difference is, yeah. Because just because Arsenal fans praise him, we're not saying that he's fucking prime Makalele or nothing. It's only because how important he is to our team. That's why we praise him so highly. So we're not saying maybe
it's my algorithm.
We're not saying he's amazing. No, but some people are silly, of course. Like even religions have terrorists. Like, do you know what I mean? Anyone, there's idiots everywhere. Like, do you know what I mean?
Don't go there, Chase. Don't go there.
But like, he's very important to us. Like, we've had a midfielder who's can't play all the games.
Okay. Put it this way. Is he £105 million important? Is he?
To use a point to keep points consistent. When Stefan was condemning certain Man United buyers for being overpriced, everybody says no. We have to wait 2-3 years to see if he's worth this money. Why is Rice already automatically trash?
I'm asking you the question. I'm not saying he's trash. I asked you. Is he 105 million?
Me personally, in terms of the money, I don't think any player in the world is ever worth that much money. I earn just over about $2,000 a month. So you can't be asking me about 105 million value. Legit, do you know what I mean? So there's no player in the world worth that for me. No, is he doing well? I think he's doing quite well.
What do you mean? The reason why there was so much expectations on Rice is because he was easily one of the best players in the Premier League last season for Arsenal. He was a catalyst for us almost winning the league. He was one of our best players. He was amazing for Arsenal, so that's why there was hype. The same thing that was there for Mainu. I guarantee.
Hold on. Did you finish with more or less points last year than the year before?
more this year than the year before.
How many
I
more?
think Rice played better for Arsenal. I think Rice played better for Arsenal this year than he did for West Ham overall. I think he did stats.
What was your points
that
total?
everything.
And I'm just genuinely asking because I actually do want to understand. What was your points total this year versus your points total the year
So
before?
points total 2 years ago was 84 points. This year it was 89.
Yeah,
Okay.
But we're not. But Yums, not only you're looking at the points, which is I agree with you, the most important currency, but defensively, we improved significantly.
And he's a big part of that.
I don't know. And look, you're Arsenal fan, so I will stand corrected before I even make the point, right? But I don't know how much he was responsible for that defensively.
Massively.
I think you guys doubled down on how good your defense was when he came out of that defensive role. When you started playing Partey alongside him, and when you started playing, who did you bring in from?
Jorginho.
When you started playing Jorginho, I think that's when you got really good defensively.
I
might be wrong on that.
Wait, let me answer this. We got really good. We got better going forward. Our attacking play improved because Jorginho or Partey were better passers in terms of passing it through the lines. Defensively, we were the best defensive team from the start of the season until the end of the season. We were always the best defensive team. And Declan Rice was key to that because if you watch the games for Arsenal, the amount of transitions and interceptions and attacks that he would stop, he was ridiculous. And then going forward in the last 2 to 3 months as a number 8, getting into the box, Rice was really, really good. He scored goals. He created goals. I think he finished, if I'm not mistaken, with 8 or 9 goals and I think 5 assists or 6 assists.
Okay, next year I'm gonna have Rice Cam. I'm gonna have Rice Cam on because I need to understand.
Have Rice Cam.
You know what?
What if you're describing Gallagher or Rice?
Rice was good, man. It's mad because. Are we trolling though? Like, I just want to know, like, are we actually?
Conor Gallagher, guys. Conor Gallagher.
So Rice is
good in transition.
So Rice is
forward, but crashes
the box. The only thing Conor Gallagher is good at is as a person.
Yeah.
He's a horrendous player.
He said as a person.
He's a horrendous player.
He's got nice hair.
No, but I'm gonna make this argument. Conor Gallagher only start if Conor Gallagher played in Italy or played in Spain, he would be nowhere near the national team, and Conor Gallagher would be playing for Sporting Gijon or for.
I think
Madrid
after Gallagher.
Diego Simeone. Gijon, which is a bloody national treasure over here in Gijon, right? I'm serious. Gijon, a respected club, man, but. Kind of Conor Gallagher on the book, on the radar for Atletico Madrid. You're dissing him slightly, but that's because the way they want to play, and that's the type of player they want. It just doesn't mean better or worse.
You know why you're right, Chris, but you can't be right with these lot, because he's basing how he rates Gallagher on what, like judging a fish by how it can fly. The same thing they're doing with Rice. Do you know what I mean?
I'm basing it in watching Conor Gallagher play. He's basically an English Højbjerg. That is Conor Gallagher.
No, come on, put some respect on his name, man. Conor Gallagher's a good player. I think he's actually a decent player. For a long time when you watch Chelsea, he was their best player.
Yeah, he was.
It might have been easy to look like their best player, but whenever he was on the pitch, he was the only one that was actually look. And like we always say in football, right? Fans will forgive you for making a mistake; they will not forgive you for not trying. And he's the only person that is always putting in that energy, always putting in that shift. I think, and you don't underestimate that. We like United saw how important that was when we had man like Fletcher. Fletcher was never that guy that was going to.
Fletcher was a far better player, Yums. Come on, Fletcher could pass.
I don't know.
Fletcher could pass. Fletcher could read the game.
I think Gallagher's a good player.
Stefan,
Gallagher ripped it up at Palace. Gallagher is the same Gallagher he was for Palace as he was for Chelsea. But Palace were playing a certain way, right? And Chelsea had all their problems. Whatever went on with Pochettino, whatever, right?
You still play
new players coming in, whatever, right? And just because it doesn't work doesn't mean Gallagher's not a good player. Would I want him at Spurs, for example? I'm not sure. I don't think he fits our style of play, but it doesn't mean he's not a good player, because he's still the same player as he ripped out of Palace, right?
Okay, Chris.
But hang on a minute. But football is moments. Football is moments. One moment you're up, next minute you're down. Okay, and some stagnate and some flare up, which is great. But he's still a class player. He can do it. It just depends on the environment he's got around him.
Okay,
like any other player.
If Gallagher's class, what is Rice then?
No, wait,
Rice is carbohydrate, man. It's carbohydrate, right?
Wait, Chris. Honestly, answer me this: if Gallagher played in Spain or in Italy and was Spanish or Italian or whatever, would he even get anywhere near the national team of Spain or Italy?
How am I meant to know that?
No,
I mean, there's so many good players out here. Right? Baena. Hang on a minute. Alex Baena is a class player at Villarreal, right? Yes. He didn't even play a minute for Spain, right? But I'm sure that he would probably get into any Premier League club, right? Because he's class. But you're asking me questions of like, when is he better than this and is he good at that? How am I meant to know? I mean, it all depends on everything. It's not tennis. I mean.
Also, England's midfield is a bit shit.
I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying play for Spain. I'm not saying play for Spain. I'm saying get in the squad for those teams. He wouldn't get anywhere near.
I don't know.
Anywhere near.
I don't know. Spain, but that's objective, man. That's just very...
Tell me, okay. Tell me one midfielder in Spain's squad that has a similar profile or Italy to Conor Gallagher.
Stefan, you was just slaughtering Joao Felix for not getting to Atletico because Diego Simeone. Ooh. Now that Diego Simeone is looking for Gallagher, you're like, oh yeah, no way, like this is not happening.
Okay, you Gallagher.
Hang on. As I said before, right, and this is true and this is factual. Okay, Spain is more technical. Right, and you're asking me about Gallagher, which is he has tech,
that is
right?
Quality.
He's got passing ability.
Rice wishes he was McTominay is quality.
Yeah, well, that's probably true as well. But you know, but you're comparing players that would he get into? No, we don't know if they would get in because Gallagher is not the technical player that you have in Spain, right? So it's very difficult to answer that, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna go on by what Chelsea fans and on all their fan channels, Chelsea fans say he works hard, he has great energy. I'm sure if Chinks plays for Arsenal or I played for Arsenal, I would work hard and have energy. If that's the quality that you're looking for in a midfielder in a top team, then okay, then maybe I'm wrong. Because
at the end of the day, it's not what the fan base
had a great impact on certain games.
Stop dissing good players, man. Stop dissing good players for Man United, comparing them to
all
Conor
I'm saying
Gallagher.
is I'm not saying Conor Gallagher is the next action hero. I'm not saying he's anywhere near Rice and all of that kind of stuff, right? I'm just saying the way sometimes he's spoken about, you would think that this guy belongs at Bolton or something. And he's actually
He's actually perfect for Sam Allardyce's Bolton. He's perfect.
Come on, man.
Runs hard, tackles.
Come on, man. I mean, he's a good player. When he was at Palace, everybody thought Chelsea pulled one off to get him. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, he's not a bad player.
And then he played for Chelsea, and people saw that he had
Chelsea's different to Palace, Steph. Chelsea's different to there's different expectation. You've got different quality around the squad. You've got a different manager. You've got different goals. You've got different everything. That all affects each and every player, right?
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely,
even if you look at what's dude that went from Brighton to Chelsea, Caicedo, right? Caicedo was saying in an interview the other day, the difference between Brighton and Chelsea. At Brighton, it was all technical ability, spatial awareness, very fast in the transition football. And he was like, and at Chelsea, all we were just expected to do is just run. It's just run. Right? So where's Stefan gone?
He's there, but he's just...
Oh, right.
He doesn't want to hear it, man. He doesn't want to hear the facts.
Yeah. So
go on.
His experience of those two teams are very different. And at Chelsea, it looks terrible. Whereas at Brighton, he looks fantastic.
And he's still the same player. He's still the same player, right? Yeah, exactly.
He's not a bad player overnight.
No. It all depends on the context of and the moments.
It's like Havertz.
Because you could be brilliant, but your team's going
what makes you a better player then? If you excel excessively in a particular system, or if you play to a good standard in many systems, what do you think is a better player?
The latter, to be fair.
Versatility or a specialist in one thing?
I'm old school. I prefer versatility. I like versatility. I'm not gonna lie. Some people prefer specialists, but I think if you're a good footballer, you can figure it out. You can play in systems. You can learn whilst you're on the pitch. You can understand the tempo, understand the league. You know, you start to pick things up. It's up here. It's how quickly.
It's a difficult one because systems are such big. I think systems are more apparent in football now than they ever have been.
That kind of stifles creativity, in my opinion. And I watch football for entertainment, in my opinion. So and that's why you're seeing a lot of tens disappear. You know what I'm saying? There's no room for them because the systems are stifling their creativity. I'll move there. It's like I was going to ask Mike's, would you have Eze at Man City? Me personally, I think Pep would destroy Eze because
in the same way he's destroyed Doku.
Yeah, right. Or the same way he's destroyed Grealish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't agree on that.
I don't know.
I don't agree on that.
I personally think like give those creative players, like you saw with Ronaldinho at Barcelona. Yep. Imagine Pep with him. Like it's crazy.
Because what's your argument, Chris? Because mine is if you're really that good, you can kind of do both. Because like Odegaard does everything Ozil does to a degree and works his socks off.
I understand that. But the fact of the matter is it has to be a compendium of all the parts making up one at the same time. Because you could be the best passer in the world, but if you've got nothing to pass on to, because if your teammates are not creating the space, are not beating their man, are not getting in behind or whatever, you're practically worthless. If you're a passer or a creator of the game, you've got nothing to create onto. Right. So without your teammates, without that understanding, and without all of those mechanisms, you can be 1-footed, 2-footed, or 10-footed. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference because it's not tennis. And this is my point. You can only be as good as what the sum of all parts make you as a team. And you could be the best, right? You could be the best of whatever, but if the rest aren't doing what they have to do. You've got absolutely nothing.
If you ain't got that platform, innit?
At the same token, football's about moments, and I feel like creative players and players that arise on the big occasion, they're the ones that create those moments, and they're quality, and they tend to be in many systems. You know, I look at Gareth Bale. He was amazing for Tottenham. He started as a left back, went to left wing, then went to right wing, and supporting striker. And he had moments every time, like in that Premier League era. And then he went to Real Madrid, and then they weren't rated in that Real Madrid, but he still created moments. Do you know what I'm saying?
That was a difficult one. That was a difficult one, to be honest. But then
it wasn't necessary for him, but he still said, you know what?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's even more so now, though. Like now, I think the systems thing is even more so where you can tell players are being told, don't shoot from outside the box. Don't do this. Don't do that. When you get to this place, you cut it back. When you get to that place, this is what you do. And I think that I agree with you in that kind of kills creativity. But if a player is really good in that system, then they're gonna but not good at other systems. You say, Chinks, right? You don't judge a fish for how it can fly. If you're really good at that one particular thing, and that's what I'm buying you for, that's all I want you to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So
you're more specific.
Play a player for what he can do rather than what he can't do, if that makes sense.
So you know what's mad? Because it's like another argument. You know, I can't remember who said it yet, but someone said like Nas is like one of the best rappers ever, but he's a terrible beat selector. So it's like now it's about more what club you pick in. Pardon?
That's subjective, to be fair.
Yeah, no, of course. I think DJ Vlad said it though, but it's the parallels because like now, if you're only good within particular systems, your whole career's like succession is kind of based on how you manage your career and where you go in terms of your individual ability in a way, like if you get what I mean. Because like certain players get like look at Vardy. Vardy went to Leicester. or like you can become a cult hero anywhere, or you can just be that guy in a great system.
Yeah, 100.
Okay. I didn't get to read that one, but anyway, but Ronaldinho, when he was at the top of his game, was at Barcelona. Sorry?
I'll put up for long so you can read it. Go on. This is why the Ronaldinhos of the world will be a dying breed. Most youth level are being taught just to keep possession rather than giving freedom to express themselves. So they step in the system. Listen, don't do that. You've got to stay in this zone. If you're not in this zone, then you can't.
I agree on the explanation, but I think it's just cyclical. A dying breed means that it's never going to come back again, or it's dying out. But if I don't know what if people looked into Italian football or not, but Roberto Baggio, which is one of the best players ever. Yeah, Roberto Baggio ever to play to grace a football pitch, right, was left out from Saki's team, from loads of teams, because he was a 10. Now, because they played 4-4-2 positional play, right? He was a sacrificial lamb. He was the one that couldn't. And you're talking about one of the best players ever, right? That had to globetrot, basically, end up in Brescia, end up in wherever he went to, right? And went from Juventus, Milan, Inter, Brescia, wherever and because he was victim of that that mindset, right? Whether they were successful or not, because Saki's Milan was successful, Capello's Milan was successful, etc., etc. He couldn't even get into Inter's, like playing consistently, because that's the way they wanted to play. Now, even Zidane at Madrid, Zidane at Juve, right? He was there 5 years, 10 years. He had 2 good years at each club, right? And even at the France team, it depends on what you've got around you. He was great with Deschamps in the middle, right? But then whenever Deschamps left, he was left with other kind of players, which either hindered his consistency or it enhanced it. So even Zidane, who's classed as one of the best players ever, struggled because of the players he's got around him, the way football was played, the manager that wanted to imprint some kind of philosophy. So no one's exempt from it. But today, positional play, I don't agree that Guardiola is a positional manager, for example. I think that he's a hybrid of positional and relationism.
Yeah.
So
I'd say it's always arguable that it's not necessarily a system. It is systems, but you can also say it's the emergence of a 8/10 players, i.e. Lampard and Gerrard, who can be creative, who can shoot, but can also defend and defend.
Versatility, isn't it?
Yeah, that versatility became a lot more athletic and in their strong core. So people started going for those. So, yeah.
Well, what Guardiola did though was he killed the number 9, and then everybody started following suit.
In what sense?
And then he went and bought a number 9 again, and now people are trying to follow suit again.
Well, it was Ferguson that started off the false 9 in the Premier League.
Not really. Fergie always had a number 9. He never gambled without a 9.
Ajax before that played false 9s.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he invented it. But he let everybody. He
wouldn't Rooney do a false 9? Rooney was doing false 9s, wasn't he?
With Ronaldo when he used to cut in.
Rooney.
But do you think that's
Ferguson's fault?
Rooney done a false 9, but Rooney always had a number 9 in front of him. Rooney really kind of played in a 10.
True.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So yeah.
And is that not due to what's available as well? Do you know what I mean?
Systems are made from the players available. It's not just because everyone sees the press, everyone sees Twitter. Yeah, we're going to line up in a 4-3-3. Never happens.
But you know what's mad then? So you see this whole specialist player that's great and does everything. When he's not there, it don't work the same. So I think the system kind of takes away the importance from each individually player. So you can more plug and play if you've got a set system.
You're a protected team.
Yeah, that's it. Protected in a way. You've got a level of consistency to your play.
Yeah.
And I suppose in league football, it's good because did Real Madrid beat City in the Champions League final?
Who's that?
Who did Real Madrid beat in the City?
Bayern Munich.
In the semi. So I think that's the. City Real is the ultimate system versus just great players match. Do you get what I mean? And like in a league, I think City will win the league if Real Madrid's in it. But in a tournament on one away games, do you know what I mean?
Madrid got great players literally in every position. Like in literally, that's just so hard.
And Ancelotti famously said, didn't he? He said, I don't overcoach attacking.
Yeah, so they're not system based as much as City.
City is.
Yeah.
And I think on a tournament that can win, but over, it's like these lot do it to stats. Like this is a low XG chance. Don't shoot here. The highest opportunity to score goals. Go here, cut it back. So it's statistically proven in a league season. These numbers must prevail. But in a one away game now, it's up in the air.
Yeah, and that's why I like players. Like that's why I really like Cole Palmer, because I think he's a player that just says fuck it. He'll say, yeah, I get the system, yeah, and then he'll get on the pitch.
Well, guys, I'm gonna end it there, man. We've been chatting for 2.5 hours, and I'm hungry. So on that note, guys, big up the chat as well, man. I love every time you guys made the show excellent as always. But yeah, man, just want to big up the panel as well. Stefan's a fraud, obviously, because I'm playing now. Big up Stefan, obviously. Big up Harry Scarfy, that made his debut, and obviously Mike's that was in the show earlier. Hold tight, you man. Big up yourselves. Big up your chest. You get me? But yeah, Tune Tactics. I'll start with you, man. You've got anything coming up? Anything to plug?
Well, I was hoping to do a show today, but I was hoping to do some transfers. I haven't had any come through just yet. So hopefully this week, Thursday, Friday, we'll come in with a. I know. Because we abide by the PSR, unfortunately.
Where's Jay when you need her? Huh?
Hopefully we'll have something out for you guys. Look out on Toon Tactics TV on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Cool, man. Love. Yeah, man. Big up yourself in the chat once again. Chris Meta TV, Miss Chris Meta Football TV. Sorry, what have you got coming up?
I'll probably be more on this show than on my own, to be honest.
You love it, right? You love it.
Yeah, man. See me here next week. That's what I'm going to be doing. Find me at the channel. Find me on Chris Meta TV on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now. And flirting about, not too much going on for reasons, as I said last week, I won't be going into.
I thought flirting about. I was like, wow.
Flirting about, yeah. I didn't actually. Now that you say that,
Hey, listen. Another thing as well. Obviously, we're making moves for our members because we did this new members thing, and I've got a few ideas that I want to give back to the people that have been supporting from early as well. And I want to do a few different type of shows. It might be off of YouTube, but watch the space. I don't want to talk too much, but yeah. Something comes. I've got some ideas. I'm going to wrap it with these guys as well. But something off YouTube. I've got ideas, man. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, love for the love. And big you guys up, sorry.
See what's on your mind. Yeah.
Sick of you, man. Sick of you, man. Big up FaZe. Preach. I don't know what go on. But yeah, we'll soon link up. And as always, man, come on, you Spurs.